Either way.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to another exciting day in the painting mortal realms.
Ah,
Um, my poor camera. Hold on.
uh-oh.
Oh,
Ah! Ah!
we're good. Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna continue to paint more guests like I did last time.
I know, I'm gonna continue painting blood crushes like I did last time.
Yeah, I'm just sitting at these half done,
Really?
and they're the
Yep.
thing I own that I'm the most excited to paint. So let's get them done.
Yep. I just kind of want to get these. I have 2 units of them, but I usually only run one.
Yeah.
So,
And is that your first one to paint?
yeah, these are my first. This is my
Yeah.
first group of them. So I'd like to just have at least like one group that I can,
Hmm.
play with that's done.
Yeah, I get that. And these, I just love the model so much.
Yeah, they are really nice.
And I keep getting messages on Steam for people playing Elden Ring. And I'm like, I can't think of the last time I got a message on Steam.
Right?
And it's like, yeah, I don't want to like close out my game and talk to you. Like, I want to play my game. Stop it. But yeah, we were talking a tiny bit about Elden Ring before we got on stream.
Hmm.
And it's very off topic for our channel, but yeah, it's an exciting time.
Hmm.
Dark Souls open world. But yeah, we've both been having one hell of a time, it sounds like.
Yeah.
I
I'm
think
I'm doing a confessor build.
I almost did Confessor.
Yep.
I did
It seems like
Vagabond, yeah.
I you were saying you had a hell of a time with Godric. I'm not very good at the game, so I still died I still spent like a couple hours on him, I think. But it like felt like I knew kind of what was going on with him.
Yeah, it took me an hour and a half, and I had a +2 weapon at that point. I don't know what yours is at.
I think mine's a +2 as well.
Yeah, I'm
So
so I'm
it
about
took
50 hours into the game.
I
Like,
am I'm not even close to 50 hours into the game.
yeah, but I've done a
Um
lot there, and like I've been loving that game so much.
yeah.
And I have a +14 Claymore right now.
I'm apparently only 13.4 hours into the game.
Oh, okay.
Not too far.
Yeah, because you're like learning on Dark Souls 3 a little bit, it seemed like.
Yeah, I was doing that before, and just to like have some kind of confidence
Hmm.
before going in.
Yeah.
I never really played a Souls game before.
And like I'm not big on open world games usually,
Mhm.
but this I feel like this like game engine lends itself to the open world like a little more
Yeah, I think it does.
weirdly. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I feel like every time they made a game they like tried some new engine, a new like combat system or new something or other. And like I don't think this is going to be like the culmination of all of it together, but like I think this was like their next thing they wanted to try
Yeah.
is like expand the scope because it was like the older games were like designed as if they were an open world game, but they were like really linear,
Oh, they're super
which
linear.
is
Yeah.
why I say they're actually Metroidvanias.
Yeah, it's very much more like. Well, I don't even know if Metroidvania is the right word. They're more like slightly branching paths
Yeah.
where you can kind of go elsewhere. I guess there's like a little bit of like finding your way around the one area, which I suppose that makes sense for
Hmm.
Metroidvania.
Yeah. Like this seems to me like Dark Souls are like imagine a world where they made a good Simon's Quest, and like that's what Dark Souls is to me.
That's funny.
Yeah,
I don't know Simon's well enough to
that's
comment
fine.
on that.
Yeah.
But
But yeah, my main problem with open world games I find is like I feel like most of the stuff is just copy pasted, slapped down there. All the enemies have one exact move AI set.
Mhm.
So it just feels very like repetitive even though you're exploring. And I found there's so many areas. Like there's one like immediately in Limgrave that's just like the two pillars where like the casters are on, and then you kind of have to like figure out how to climb them to hit them. And like yeah, there's just like stuff like that all over the place.
See, I don't remember that because I've been doing nothing but throwing fireballs at people.
Hmm.
So I just throw fireballs at people,
Yeah,
and
that's
things are
fair.
okay.
Yeah, but yeah, the Ash system in this game is so fucking good.
Oh, it's so cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I was like, oh man, I don't want to really increase my stats for like for like strength or dex or anything really.
Yeah.
for my sword, and instead I found an ash that was like, "Hey, what if we scale your weapon based on faith instead?" And I'm like, "Sign me the fuck
Yeah.
up."
And you know what's really great about that too is on the converse is I'm the vagabond, so I'm like a pure strength and dex build.
Yep.
And then I found an ash that was fire, but it scaled with strength instead of faith.
Oh, that's fucking
So
cool.
then I just went and respec and dumped my dexterity, went full
Yep.
strength.
Nice.
Yeah, and then also I have fire damage because there's things that like don't take physical damage at all, like the oozes.
Mhm.
Yeah, now I have fire. It's
Yeah,
really good.
mine added holy to it
Hmm.
and my sword, and then I also have well, spoiler alert, I got Blackfire recently before going to
Ooh.
Godric, and that helped a lot with Godric. He melted.
Hmm.
He started melting because of that.
Yeah.
But there were a few moves that it took me a real long time to beat still because there were a few moves that I just couldn't fucking deal with from him.
I'm
But
curious actually because I had this experience and one of my buddies had this experience of we struggled with him and then
Mhm.
the time we finally killed him, we just fucking clowned him.
he
Like it was insane.
I had a different experience, I think. I got really close to killing him like from the very beginning,
Hmm.
but because I was ranged, the move he does where he like starts shooting fire onto the ground
Yeah.
and then like walks forward with it because I was always staying at like medium far range.
Oh, that move would probably ruin you. Yeah.
Oh, it ruined me every fucking time. So like if I can imagine being up in his face, like
Hmm.
that move is like literally nothing. And it's just like he spins around a little bit and you just keep circling him and everything's
Yeah,
fine.
and like
But
I think the somebody would say to you, "Well, just read the move." Like, okay, you're
yeah,
right,
I,
but it's
I
hard.
would read the move. I would try to run away and I'd be like just like on the wrong like spot. He'd hit me, and as soon as you get hit, you stagger. Or I
Fire
do
like does
anyway.
not work the way that it does in real life in this game. Like, have you ever like run into a guy with a torch on your horse, and they just like hold the horse out, and then you're just stun locked till the horse
Oh, you
explodes?
just stun like forever. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
encountered that
like
yesterday.
yeah. Like if torches worked like that would be the pinnacle of medieval warfare.
You know, right?
They're like, oh, like the cavalry were an issue until I got my torch guy. And he just held the torch out and the horse lit itself on fire.
Didn't move and just stood there, just eating fire damage the
Yeah.
whole time. Yeah,
It's like so maddening too. And
I
like
know it really is.
one thing I really wanted, because like in Breath of the Wild, right? Like you had the
Mhm.
horse and you ran into a bokoblin and then you just like trampled that motherfucker.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then like in
that would
this
have been
game,
nice.
there's like
Yeah.
processions of like 9 or 10 of these like little undeads running around. And then like you run into one and then you collide, and then they just dogpile you.
Oh
And
yeah.
you're like, ah, man.
It's like, well, it's over.
Yep. But yeah, overall, I've been having a blast. I'm glad
Yeah,
you've been enjoying it too.
yeah.
Oh man. Also, have you gotten any AOS games in?
I did. I got into the last 2 days. It was exciting.
That's awesome. I figured we
Yeah.
should talk about what our show's about for a little
I
bit,
know,
but
right? Yep. So the first game I played Corn against Marathi
mm-hmm.
and Bow Snakes.
Yeah.
And spoiler alert, I got shot off the table basically turn two.
Mm-hmm.
He shot off with Bow Snakes Marathi, and he had like a spell. He had some spells also
Pit
from
of
Marathi
Shades
that were doing
probably
damage.
is one of them.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
He managed to kill Scarbrand, my Bloodthirster, without them getting into combat at all. And
Yeah.
then he was able to take out my Demon Prince with melee snakes. And that was 1,000 points of my army, and he took maybe one bow snake died, maybe
Yep.
two, and that was it. That was the whole
Mm-hmm.
game, and then we stopped playing.
Now join my petition on change.org to remove mortal wound shooting from the game.
It was really bad.
Yeah.
I had no defense against that at
And
all.
like some
Especially
armies
'cause-
do, but like
yeah,
some armies just melt
just
to
don't.
like
Yeah, especially considering like I couldn't even all out defense like the shooting that happened in the hero phase.
yeah.
So like I had literally no defense against it with my 4-up save they just it was either a mortal wound that I couldn't stop, or it was another hit that I also really couldn't stop, and so I just
Mhm.
fucking died.
I think
Yep.
shooting has a place in this game, but I think that list of like Marathi with the bow snakes, and as you put it too, I think he only had 10.
Yeah, you only hit them.
Yeah, he could have had 15.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
and like I don't think there's a place for that in this game.
Yeah.
Like when the
Agreed.
Daughters of Cain book comes out, I hope they change Marathi's command ability.
Yeah. To be melee only at
Yeah,
least. Yep. Or something
I
else
think
entirely.
melee only or once per game could do it. But
Yeah.
like I don't think once per game would have like changed your game.
No, it doesn't. I think once per game doesn't change enough because it's still there and still potent.
Yeah, I'd rather they just change it to melee only.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what they do.
Hmm.
So I went back to the drawing board after that debacle
Yeah,
and was like, you know what? I'm not fucking pulling punches anymore. I'm bringing fucking Archeon with me.
yeah.
And then I brought Archeon, and that game lasted one turn, and I fucking clowned his ass.
The other way, same army. Yeah.
Yeah, exact same army, and Archeon got in there, almost killed all the melee snakes in one turn. Varangard in one turn killed a unit of the flying guys. I can't remember. That was kind of irrelevant. And then
Hmm.
like a unit of 20 witch elves right with the second combat that turn.
Yeah.
So they killed double. I didn't engage the Shadow Queen and was getting the double turn and was gonna have all of my Baron Guard go into the back and kill all of his bow snakes, and he was gonna basically just have Marathi, and I was gonna have my whole army still.
Yep. That's
So
rough.
we called it there.
Yep.
No, that felt real good. I'm not gonna lie.
Hmm.
I didn't really care after the clowning I got the previous
Oh
day.
yeah.
Normally I would feel bad about that, but I didn't.
Yeah, but like you did this.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, that's fun though. Yeah.
yep. But I still had a great time. It was just like
Yeah.
too incredibly like one day he was like, "Oh man, that was something," and then the next day I was like, "Oh man, that was something."
Yeah. I feel like there's a version of this game too where like the Archeon versus Marathi list would have been like a compelling game.
Mhm.
I
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
I guess you just got pretty lucky to begin with. And I bet he
Yeah,
didn't screen
I
super well
actually
either.
surprisingly I actually got like after having a few games that haven't been ideal on the dice rolls, I got very lucky in my Archeon game.
Hmm.
I was making mortal wound saves left and right when he went first and was doing a bunch of stuff. He missed a few charges. I didn't, and yeah.
And life was good.
And I got the double turn roll, and yeah, life was good, and that was that.
Yeah, fun.
Yep.
So yeah, Archeon's still good, even
Yes.
though he's not in Zinch.
Correct.
But yeah, we can all just get over that. We don't need him to be there.
No, I don't. I don't give a shit about that.
Yeah, but that's
As long
good.
as I'm glad he stayed good in his own army. Like
Yeah.
that's what I got him for.
It's actually so funny because I remember when the change came out and people were very upset 'cause, like, he got nerfed. Oh, what are we gonna do? And then you're like, wait a second, I didn't run him in that. He just got better for me.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, this seems great.
Yeah,
Love
you
it.
even mark him as corn, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that's not the way the internet says to do it, Bill. How could you do such a thing as to disagree with the internet?
You know, I like to just hit with like fucking like reliably hit with 12 attacks from a Varangard, Ren -1/2 damage, and then do it again.
Yeah.
And did you know that everything, just about everything in the fucking game melts to that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. But like you
Feels
could
great.
reroll ones to save.
I could, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
But if I think in a tournament it wouldn't work as well because people would know how to play around it
Yeah.
and I would want the extra defense, but when people move up on me and let me charge into them with my Varangard, life's good.
Yeah, people. I don't want to sound negative here, but and it's one of the hardest things to learn. But I don't think a lot of people know how to screen.
Oh, well, the problem he had is he actually did a really good job screening some of it.
Mm-hmm.
Just they okay, really funny actually. I was trying to just go into the Karenai.
Yeah.
That's what they're called, right? The flying guys.
Yeah, Canara. Yep.
Karenai. There we go. It didn't sound quite right.
Yeah.
Um, and I tried to pile in away from the witch elves that I was just in combat with,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like, "Oh, actually, you can't because this witch elf is closer than that Canary for that one guy." So I was like, "All right, fuck it,"
Yeah.
because I just wanted to like not be in combat, and so that I could fly around to get the bow snakes with them,
Yeah.
and then the witch elves fought and well didn't do much damage because I think I just all out defensed my Vanguard, and that was that.
Very cool. Yeah.
And then I swung back and killed all of them, and I was like, oh, I guess that was the right play for him to him to tell me I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
So that turned out real funny.
Yeah, it did. That's funny though.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I can't leave. Okay, what if I kill you all instead?
Yeah, you
Oh,
can't
great.
hold. Yeah, you can't pin me in combat when you're dead.
Exactly.
Berenguard is super good.
Yeah. Oh, they really are. I love them.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's definitely a list that like I just kind of get it out of my system on occasion because it does seem to do very well most of the time. So it's
Yeah.
like, well, this doesn't seem too fair to play in a normal game.
Hmm.
But got it out of my system now. I'll play some other random stuff and it'll be good.
Yeah. I would play against that with like my 40 zombie list.
Oh, that would be very interesting, actually.
Yeah, because I think I'd be able to screen that.
I think you would. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I had a game this weekend too with
Oh, nice.
I did a War Coda mission actually.
Oh,
It
very
was
nice.
Focal Points, I think it's called. It's the one. It's the
Yeah, yeah,
corner.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, the L-shaped deployments. Yeah, and I did that against the cities list that ran 2 units of the Stormcast dragons, the Phoenix
Ooh.
Guard, and then like a couple little cavalry units and a couple deep striking units.
Hmm.
And it was a pretty close game on points. And I think that's mostly because of the mission,
Hmm.
which is like good. Thumbs up. We love that mission too. It's like, yo, Eric, what do you think of these? He's like, I don't have any complaints. And that's a good thing. That means it feels
Yeah.
exactly like a real mission. And like I
Yep.
could have complained about anything, but there's really literally nothing I could complain about here.
Yeah, it's like this seems good. Yeah.
Yeah, so good work. I love that. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, so he had the dragons, and then my plan was I put the zombies like on each of the points and then exactly enough distance apart so that dragons would not be able to fit inside.
Oh.
And then I had the Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon and Manfred 12 inches away from the zombie unit. Which, so the dragons couldn't like run up and even shoot them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so my whole plan was to force him to have to charge into the zombies or play like a Fade and Fire, like shooty kind of game.
Hmm.
And then so turn two, like oh, he went first, and then turn two, I won the priority roll, and I gave him the initiative actually
Okay.
because I didn't want to move in yet. So I forced him to like basically take pot shots at the zombies and stay exactly 12 away from them.
Yep.
And then the silly thing that you can do in Living Cities is deep strike the dragons, shoot with them, and then move their full 12.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so he did that to engage one of my zombie flanks, and he took out a really good chunk of them, of course.
Hmm.
But then on my turn two, or yeah, he did that at the top of turn two, and then the bottom of turn two, I charged in with the Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon, and I kept Manfred in range to give the +1 to hit and +1 to wound buff.
Hmm.
And I was 1 point away from killing one of the dragons.
Oh wow.
Then, also at the same time, I deep struck a unit, like the unit of 20 Graveguard and the Vampire Lord, like right in his territory,
Hmm.
within charging distance of the dragon. And then I failed the charge, of course.
Oh.
But that got me the 2 points for the Savage Spearhead. That's the 2 in the opponent zone, right? Yeah, that's Savage Spearhead. So I did
Well, yeah.
that. Then I won the roll off. And
Oh
then I
wait, two
went,
in opponent's territory?
yep,
Hold. Is it contest or
wholly
just
within
hold?
an opponent's territory.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
makes
so I
sense.
was
Yeah.
Legion of Night and I just plopped them off to the side.
Yeah, you're just like,
Yeah.
I'm here.
And then I won the roll off, charged in with Manfred, charged in with the Graveguard and the Vampire Lord, and then I proceeded to kill 3 dragons and bring one to 3 wound.
Holy shit!
Yep.
Look at you go.
Yeah, so
That's exciting.
that's how I had to deal with them. Because I feel like that game could have gone very differently. Where like if I didn't like screen very well, he would have just came up to like the Manfred and
Yeah.
Vampire Lord blob, and like one of the units could have killed one and severely injured the other.
So I guess that's the problem with them, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can deal with them, but they're like a easy to use, hard to counter unit,
Yeah, you had
right?
to play your heart out. Yeah.
Exactly.
Like I had to
Yeah.
dictate all 2,000 of my points for 2 turns to dealing with them.
Yeah.
Which it worked out because like there's still like half his army and all of his damage, right?
Right. Yeah.
Like I don't know how you're gonna avoid that with that kind of unit. But you're right, yeah, they're very easy to. I don't want to like say brain dead because it's not, of course.
No, 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 no.
But
But
like,
it's easier to be like, oh, I can figure out what to do with these. I send them at a priority target and
yeah,
roll lots of dice.
it's
Right.
like magic. Like aggro decks are way easier than control decks, but combat math's still hard, and knowing
Right.
when to attack's still hard. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. So that was a really good taxing game. I really liked that.
Nice.
But yeah, I think 2 units of 40 zombies are very good too. So I can't
Yeah,
even be like,
for
well, I beat them
sure.
with bad units, you know? Like
No.
I definitely used
Yeah.
good units
Zombies
to
are
do
very
it.
good.
Yep.
Yep.
But yeah, Manfred's awesome. I love the runaway rule that he has.
Oh, that runaway rule is ridiculous.
Yeah,
That's really neat.
yeah, I love that thing. And I can't
Yeah.
be mad about the foxes having something like that if I'm gonna have Manfred. Yeah,
I mean, you can be.
no, that's just a dick move though. Like, right?
That's called hypocrisy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then like I'm thinking about it, and it's like, well, the foxes are super good at that, but their damage is like okay for their points.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
definitely.
that's all they do. Very, yeah.
Yeah,
And if they
they're
can't do
very
that,
good at
what's the
like,
point?
yeah,
Yeah, they're just annoying. I get it.
yeah. Oh, they're very annoying, and they can do things you don't expect. Like like if you don't realize what they can do ahead of time, it's like
Mm-hmm.
they'll just they'll just dance all around you, and you'll be like, oh damn it, I didn't realize they could do that, and then you'll make like a bunch of mistakes.
Yep.
That's why they feel frustrating to play against too.
I think that's the problem with them, right? It's like if you get caught off guard, it is like one of the worst feelings in the world.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
definitely.
for
Yep.
sure. But like,
Yep.
if you go into the fight knowing exactly what they can do, and you're like, all right,
Yeah.
the first thing he's gonna do is put that thing right up to me, block my movement on this flank at least, and then
Yep.
run away.
Yep.
I'm gonna play around it. They're not even bad. I don't think.
Right. It's still effective,
Yeah.
but like it's not gonna you're not just gonna lose to it
Yeah.
if you know what to do against them. But that's the trick, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
I'd say they're a little harder to play than just like dragons, running in doing damage, but
I would say they're a lot harder actually.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
being nice.
Huh?
I said I was being nice.
I'm. It's not a mean thing. It's just like that's one of those
Oh, no, no,
abilities.
no, no,
Yeah.
that's not what I meant. I meant like I wasn't trying to like oversell like, one way or the other because I'm
Yeah, I
happy.
get it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I understand. I'm just. They might. I think they're actually like a very difficult unit to use because like as we saw in like the game against ogres that you had,
yeah.
like you did that and then you moved your 12 and it didn't super matter because of the way he was able to like kind of surround it.
I think that was the orc one, but yeah, same idea.
And I think that happened in both, didn't it? Because like you blocked the middle uh Stonehorn, and then the other two were able to move up on the sides of the table.
Oh, did it die right then?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. It did. Yeah, it did happen in both games.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It was
Yeah.
much more effective against you, in the
Oh
game of
yeah, that yeah. I had to like
yeah,
commit to that flank on the Game of Heroes,
yeah,
and then you're like, oh, I can like shut down 2 units of Graveguard and a Vampire. Yeah.
yeah. That was pretty good for me.
Yeah. I have a slow army.
Yeah, like the orcs and the ogres are really fast, which kind of counteracted the 12-inch move being enough to just like get away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like it's doable,
Yep.
but like it's worth the points either because like you can shut something off for a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's a tough thing too in these kind of games because I feel like everybody really wants to do powerful things, right?
Right.
And like of course you do. That's fun. So you just like look at something that's like ludicrously powerful when you don't have it, it just feels broken.
Yep.
And then you play against it and you're like, I guess it's fine.
Yeah,
That
like on paper, things seem either a lot worse or a lot better than they are in a lot of cases.
yeah.
It's very hard to judge things properly based on how they
Yeah.
actually play in the game.
Hmm. That being said, I'm still not a huge fan of mortal wound shooting
No, me either.
because I feel like the main advantage of being shooting is that like you don't have to risk anything going into combat.
Right.
And like mortal wounds is definitely the most efficient way of dealing with stuff.
Yeah.
And I really hate that it targets that you can basically target heroes with no penalty.
Yeah, I mean, basically, yeah, especially if that's where your bulk of your damage is just like hitting a bunch of sixes and then just like, oops, I killed them.
Yeah.
Because it's like the -1 to hit doesn't really matter
Hmm.
at that point. I'd much rather it be like, as I was mentioning in a chat or whatever we had, like you can increase the rend on them a little bit
Yeah.
and take away the mortal wounds so that they're still probably going to do damage, but there's counterplay to it, right?
Hmm.
Like you can like, if you want to, you can all out defense and you have a mystic shield and like you can protect that like one unit that you really don't want to get shot off the table
Yeah.
at the expense of probably getting shot in other places
Hmm.
because you're investing so much there. And I think that would be more interesting.
Yeah. I think if mortal wound shooting is going to continue to be a thing, and I think it's way more effort to unwrite all the books of that.
Yeah.
Unless they're already doing that in their production. And like that's why we're getting the Daughters of Cain. And then the next order book could be Lumineth to do that, right?
Yeah.
I don't
Could be.
think so, but like if it is, I could see it being that.
Yep.
But this might be controversial, but I want Bodyguard to just be like an evergreen role. Like
That
the
would be nice so
pass
that
up
you
the
can't.
wounds on an X up.
Yeah.
And like some units will definitely be better at it, like Belladonna and the Vampire and the Necromancer having it on a 3 up.
Yeah, as opposed to like maybe having it on like a 5 up normally or something.
Yeah, like it could
It's
be
like
Evergreen 5 up
yeah,
Bodyguard. Because like I hear the argument about Amulet of Destiny not being a 6 up to mortal or just being a 6 up now was bad for the game because you needed the 5 up board to save your heroes from mortal wound shooting and
right.
absurd spells. Um,
Yeah, what if it was an amulet that just gave a 5 up the 5 up
more to mortal
literally what
wounds.
you just said and
Yeah,
I can't say it.
5
Yeah,
up
bodyguard.
Bodyguard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'd be interesting too.
Because you're still taking the damage, but you're putting it somewhere less important. And the
Yeah,
giant basically it doesn't do anything for them.
yeah. Like if I just think Evergreen, it should be 5 up mortal wound or 5 up to pass off the wound and shooting.
Mm.
Because like I don't know like if you could actually in a battlefield setting be like, oh, there's the general, and then like everybody in their army aims right at the general and exclusively hit him.
Seems unlikely.
Yeah,
Granted, we're not talking realism here,
yeah,
but
you're right.
at the same time, like if you're making a class of heroes in the game to like provide buffs and stuff, and then they can just get targeted in the like really important for how the army functions, and they
Yeah.
can just get targeted down turn one and just all be gone. Like that
Hmm.
feels bad.
And I'm fine
So
with
they should probably
monster
have some
heroes
kind of
not getting
defense for
that,
that.
right?
Yeah. Oh, definitely, because
Yeah,
they usually have their own stronger defenses.
yeah, and also that I can totally see like being able to just shoot that
Yep.
out of the sky. It's like, oh, there's a
Yeah.
giant zombie dragon coming for us. Put your bows at it.
Yeah. It's
Like,
like
of course you
that's
would.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Just like it's so frustrating losing like a foot hero with like a buff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mortal wound shooting. Yeah. Let me
Yeah,
just.
like a blood secretor going down just like literally ends your whole game,
Yeah.
pretty much.
And like if you're an Iron Jaws player with like one of the War Chanters and it goes
Yep.
down, you're like,
And it
cool.
goes down.
My
Yep. It's like,
damage is
oh
gone.
great. Yeah, my
Necromancer
damage
kind of
just
hurts
got
too.
halved. Yep.
Yeah. But the Necromancer has the bodyguard, which thumbs up.
Which honestly, it saves it pretty well.
Yeah.
Because like I absolutely would have targeted that thing down, but I couldn't.
hmm But I feel like if it was like a 5 up or even like a 6 up, it would still be like enough of it and disincentive to just do it for just cause. But like it's
I
still
think a
likely
6 up
enough if you
wouldn't
need
be.
it.
I think a 5 up might be. 6 up feels
Like nothing.
well, yeah, a lot of the time it feels like nothing. And you can vary. I mean, it actually does pretty good,
hmm
but
It blocks
it doesn't feel
16
like quite
damage.
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to see like also I want to see them keyword bodyguard because there's a lot of things that act like it but are written
Yeah, just make it
slightly different.
consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all slightly different. I
And
hate
like
when that happens.
rules as written, we have no idea right now if you can also do a ward save with it.
Oh yeah, they need to
Yeah.
absolutely like
And like the
just
argument is that
clarify it.
most of the time, yes, you can do the ward save, which I think rules as written is technically true, but I don't think that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it should just be you get a ward or a bodyguard, whatever you like, yeah.
Yeah, you can get either one.
Whatever one you
That would
want.
make a lot more sense.
Yeah. And then just keyword it.
Yep.
I don't know why this company's afraid of keywords. And I get that too
Well,
many is a problem.
yeah, I think they're scared of what
Seventh
happened in
edition.
yeah, 7th edition 40K because they had that all over the place and it was
hmm
awful.
I just feel like there's enough rules that like we see everywhere written.
Yeah,
Or
that
like
they don't need to.
engagement range. Like we see within 3 inches all the time.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
guess that doesn't need to be keyworded.
But like it would make sense.
Yeah.
I don't know, but then I could see people being like, well, "What the fuck is engagement range? Let me go look." Whereas this is just like, oh,
Yeah.
within 3 inches. That's
I'm
understandable.
fine with that, yeah.
Yeah.
Just like stuff that gets FAQ'd and it's like a ward save, but wasn't called ward back in the day.
Yep.
It's like, okay, so only this army gets affected by that? Okay. There's definitely like a middle ground here.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah. No, I'm not disagreeing with you. Yep. So do you wanna show off your mission?
Let's do the new rules
Oh
first.
yeah. You want
For
to do that?
the
Yep.
yeah, let me
Let's do
just
that.
finish this color.
Spoiler alert. We got cool things.
Yeah. I think we talked about it a little bit last show.
Yeah, we did.
We'll just go over the schedule real quick. We want to talk about the new rules that they've been showing off. Well, we still look for a copy of the book to share to everyone and talk about that. Um, but yeah, we got two Fire Slayer rules and a Deepkin rule.
Yep.
We'll start with the Deepkin first because that's more exciting for you
Sure.
because you own that army. Yeah. And
I
then
sure do.
I wrote a mission, like a custom mission, and we can talk about like what I was trying to accomplish with it and like different ways we could handle the situation and things I have like questions about, like what we think we could do better. And then
Yeah.
you said you had an idea for one, Bill?
I mean it's fairly simple that I can just kind of like talk it out.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Wash the brush. Okay. Let me go pull up the deep pin rules. All right. So we're keeping the rituals. Make more of your tides of death even more tempestuous with potent Isharan rituals. Yeah, the battle tome's coming. Entire armies of Leviathans, whatever.
But if I read these right, it's like actually reasonable and not just the kind of shit it was before.
Yeah. When I was reading this, it wasn't super clear. It sounds like you just pick one and then you have it.
That's what it sounds like to me
Yeah, like
too.
so you have like an Isharan priest and you pick a ritual and you just have it for the game.
Yep.
So and basically what they do is they supercharge one of your Tides of Death rules. So the example given here is Battle Round 2. Item units can run and still shoot and charge in the same turn. Was that what it always was? Do you
Um,
remember?
yes, that's what it was.
Okay. And if you picked the Ritual of the Surging Stream, you can add run to run and charge rolls affected by flood tide.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, it just sounds like it's a bonus you just pick.
Yeah.
You don't have to roll for anything. But yeah, it's not super clear.
Yeah, it's possible you'll still have to roll the 2d6 or whatever, and then
Mm-hmm.
it'll be like, wait, so like, because you have to pick it first turn, right? I think.
Yeah.
And then if you do have to roll, it's like, well, you're just gonna have the games where you have it and the games where you don't, and you're just like gimped in some amount of games for like
Mm-hmm.
whatever reason.
But yeah,
But it's a nice
it
game,
sounds like
so
you
like
pick it
whatever.
during battle, though, right? Like it's not like an enhancement for your army, right?
I don't think so. No,
Yeah,
I think you can pick it during the game.
which makes them way better.
Yep. So you get to see what you're going up against.
Yeah, which is really cool, actually. It's like the
Yep.
only kind of passive that's like that.
Yeah, that I know of.
Yeah. Well, that's the only like core rule passive that's like that I can think of.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they have Battle Round 4. Notice that they're skipping the infamous Battle Round 3 tide.
Yeah.
Ebb tide.
Here's what that is.
They can retreat and still shoot or charge in the same turn.
Yep. Also the same.
Yeah. And then the ritual, when they retreat on a 4-up, they deal D3 mortal wounds to the thing they're running away from.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. I think I value the first one a little more in a vacuum.
Yeah, because turn 4 is, well, sometimes hard to get to
Yeah, it's sometimes hard
and
to
have it
get
be
to.
meaningful.
And I feel like the reason to do damage is to get guys off an objective most of the time.
Mm.
And if you're running away from it,
Well, you're
what's
running away and you can still charge. So if you had like a bonus to charge, like in eels, for instance, are in combat,
Oh, yeah, that's still
so
yeah.
you back up, you do a bunch of damage, you charge back in, you hit harder.
Okay, so it gives you like another weaker voltaic charge thing.
Yeah, kind of.
That's kind of cool, actually. Yeah, I forgot about. I know we just read it. I somehow forgot about it.
Oh, that's okay.
Dumbass.
Yeah, that's what I how I envision using that. You can actually just like pile on a little extra damage with like heals or whatever.
Yeah, I like that then. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it,
Yeah, yeah.
not in a
It could be
vacuum.
like a bit of a game changer towards the late game.
Yeah.
Get a little extra damage, and it seems like you could do it with multiple. So like you could like have your whole army like do that and like see how much
Or
damage you can get
wait,
up.
I have enough unit. Yeah. So if your whole army retreats, your whole army does that.
Yeah, it seems like it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's fine. +1 to
yeah.
run in charge is still like super good though. In a turn that you can do both.
Oh,
Yeah,
definitely.
these are strong abilities. Is all I'm gonna get.
Yep.
Yeah, I like these a lot. Um, yeah, but yeah, that's it for this article. But they totally skirted around. Let me go to the picture because it's cool. Yeah,
I yeah.
yeah. I don't know what Battle Round 3 is gonna be. They didn't change the other two, so I feel like they could have left that alone.
They very well might have.
I don't think it's problematic the way it is now.
I don't really think so either. I could see them doing like maybe like X number of your units get to fight first or something
Yeah,
instead of all. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Or
yeah.
maybe they get like the Lumineth rule instead where you get to pick two at a time.
Oh, that would be super lame.
Well, yeah. But
I,
it would still give you at
mhm.
least something.
You know, I have a theory is it's gonna be something like that. I think it's gonna be like pick three to fight first.
Yeah.
If you took the ritual, all get to fight first.
Oh yeah, that's probably what yeah. I
I
think you're right
I
on
could
that.
see that. I
Yep.
could also see it only working like on your turn. So like let's say it's turn
Yeah,
3 and
yeah,
it's my yeah. Okay, I
yeah.
go. Yeah.
I could see yeah, I could see either of those.
I would
And then
actually
like
like
if you do the
that
ritual,
change.
you get both.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I would kind of like it if it was on my turn and I charged you, you didn't get to fight first.
Hmm.
Yeah, I
It's
don't know how that works for the army. But the whole
I
army
mean
seems to be getting way
they could
better.
change it, so
Yeah.
yeah, so we'll have to see.
Yep. But overall, I'm a huge fan of these rituals. I think.
Yeah, no, I think it's a really cool idea.
Yeah, and it said something about for each Asharn you could do it with, right? Did I make that up?
If you take a Tidecaster, you can do 2.
Got it. Okay. Don't you take a Tidecaster normally? Maybe
Not
not.
necessarily. Yeah.
They're the ones that make the Archer's battle line, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
Oh, this is fine.
That's what
Yeah,
I feel like I would do
it's
that.
an incentive to run one. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that a lot. Okay. Let's see. Um,
Don't you have an odd feeling though? There's going to be like one that's like the right one to take
yeah, of
when we see them
course.
all. Yeah.
That's
And the
usually
only
how
way
those
you're going to
go.
pick a different one is by taking the Sharon.
And
I
then
mean
picking an
the
additional one.
Tidecaster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's usually how these things go, sadly.
Yep.
Yeah.
But maybe not. We'll see.
And then so we got rules for the Battle Priest, I think it's called. Battlesmith. It is a priest. And it's a bubble, it's 6-inch bubble of 6-up board. 12-inch bubble of 6-up board, yes. That's what I meant to say. And also things within 12 inches once per game get a 5-up board instead of a 6-up.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a cool tech piece. That's one of the Cruel Boys artifacts. Is you get a 5-up board once per game,
Yep.
and like it's really good against like that alpha turn. And usually you only really need that for one turn
Yeah, generally.
while you fight back.
Yep.
It
Because
seems like
usually you can usually pick out that one turn that's like, oh, this is going to be the important turn. I'm going to use this.
yeah.
Usually early, I find.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe against Deepkin, it's turn 3. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. This is something I would like want in my lists
Yeah.
to stay safe. Yeah. And I think he had another bubble. Yeah. And another thing, which is another thing I really love, is if this unit issues rally, they get rally on a 4-up instead of a 6-up.
Oh yeah, they did the rally thing again. Yep.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah. I love that rule.
I
I
mean, I like how they're utilizing rally in different ways by like buffing it for some armies and stuff like that.
yeah. I agree.
I think I do think the default one is weak.
Yeah, on a 6-up, yeah, it's pretty weak.
Yeah.
I've
Four
used
up
it
though.
to okay
Yep.
effects before.
Yeah, I mean you can get
Yeah.
lucky.
Yeah, of course.
And
Mm-hmm.
definitely, yeah. But like overall, it's like you're not getting too much value out of it.
Yeah, on a 4-up though, like especially if you're fighting shooting, because you're not going to be in
Oh yeah,
combat. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah,
yeah, get half
definitely.
the unit back, and then there's also the hero that when Fire Slayers die, you get to add charges to them, right?
Yeah.
Like the corn
Yep.
effect there. Yeah,
Yep.
I'm losing, but I'm still getting things.
I'm
So
losing,
that's a
still
cool.
getting things, and oh look, they're back.
Yeah, like that seems really good to me.
It feels like it could be a powerful thing or
Nothing, right?
just like a cute thing, depending on how it's pointed.
Yeah, I feel like you could be right
Yeah,
because I feel like
I, I
yeah,
I feel like points do that with a lot of things. It's either good or cute when you
yeah.
come up with something that seems powerful.
Well, the problem with that too is you're absolutely right. Like if it's like melee versus melee, I don't think the rally matters as much.
Right.
But against it's a really good anti-shooting tech basically. And
Yep.
if you get lucky and you win the fight and then it's your turn,
Hoo-wee.
yeah,
Yep.
that's also weirdly like an incentive to like give up the double turn too. Because I've definitely done that a lot, knowing that in that next combat I was gonna clear that unit, and I've given them the double turn so that I could clear the unit and then move the unit instead of clearing it on my turn and then not moving it until the next
Yeah.
battle round.
No, it's if you feel like you can afford to give them
The round.
give them the turn. Yeah.
Yeah. And then yeah, especially if you feel like you can definitely kill them and then on your turn be out of combat.
Yeah. I mean, they could retreat in that case, I guess. but
Yeah, but then they can't rally until the next time it's your turn.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Like, yeah,
I like it. Yeah, I think base rally's a little too weak, but I think it's a fun thing to play around.
yeah, I think they're doing cool things with like giving different ways to buff it and whatever.
And now this one, I think, is going to be a huge game changer.
Oh man, I remember. Oh yes, I was like, oh, which one was this one? I don't remember. Oh yeah, I do.
Uses command, yeah, fierce counterattack. Uses command ability at the start of the enemy combat phase. The unit that received this command must be your battle line, your Arc, Hearthguard Berserker, Volkite Berserker. By the way, if you need proof that they're never going to give you more Fire Slayers units, this is it right here. They could have future-proofed this and said non-hero, and they actively chose not
And
to.
they didn't.
Yep. Alright, anyway, unit that was within 3 inches of an enemy unit that made a charge move in the same turn, and not within 3 inches of any other enemy unit. So basically, if you get charged, you can put the first strike effect on your Fire Slayer once per
Yep.
game. That's huge, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this
Oh, is it a once per game thing
yes.
only? Okay.
Fine though. Yeah. I just
Oh,
remember
you
like
cannot.
how much
No,
like
a unit can't receive the command more than once per battle, so you can use it multiple times.
yes, you can
Just
use
not
it
on that
multiple
same unit.
times, yeah.
Okay, okay.
But each unit can only do this, yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah. Oh, that's a little extra bookkeeping, for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe
For sure.
maybe it normally is. I don't know.
It's just an army that has it already. So I don't think a little bit extra is a problem for them.
Yeah.
That
No,
makes sense.
yeah.
This is a powerful rule. I remember like when Flesh Eater Court was new, and then like the Terrorgeist had to fight first, no matter what,
Oh yeah.
and like how
Oh, fight
much
first
issue
is
that gave you.
definitely a thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and like it's only on like a unit once, and they're not Terrorgeists from what I can tell.
I mean the Hearthguard Berserkers are usually pretty good, right?
Yeah, like
So
damage too. They
maybe.
get some mortal wounds. Yeah, this is
Yeah. See.
if Fire Slayers are competitive. I think this is what makes them competitive.
Oh, it's certainly gonna help. No
Yeah.
question about it. Yeah.
hmm Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would kill for a rule like this in some of my armies.
Yeah.
So good.
I agree.
I remember something about like Magmadroth breath too, right?
Um.
I thought there was.
Oh, they did have a yeah, they did have a Magmadroth article, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe that was a little while ago. Was that one of the not this past week ones and one of the earlier ones?
Yeah, I'm looking at the articles now. Oh yeah, it was way earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, February 24th. I don't know how
Oh
I
yeah.
feel about it though. All right, Lofnir, you can have them. Yeah, in your army, 3 different magma or mount traits. Rune priests, or yeah, Rune sons on Magmadroths are battle line. So there's your cavalry unit for battle line.
Yeah. Are they just
That's
always battle line, or did you have to do something? You had to do something,
you
right?
have to be Lofnir
That's right.
Lodge. Yep. And their passive is what was it? Yeah, add 2 wound characteristics to your Magmadroths, and up to 3 instead of just 1 get a mount trait.
Seems kind of neat, assuming that there are any good ones.
Yeah, they were pretty good ones last time.
Good.
Yeah, and then the breath weapon is very new, and I can't tell if I like it better or worse. Yeah, so like what it used to be was like it was D3 mortal wounds, and then like under certain conditions it was D6. And I think it was like either proximity or like if you roll under the amount of units they had in the unit.
Okay.
Yeah. But now it's 1 attack for each enemy unit. Yeah, each model in the enemy unit up to a maximum of 10. And it's 2 up to hit, degrades to 5 up. 3 to wound, rend 1, 1 damage. However, if you didn't shoot last turn, this turn it's rend 3 instead.
That seems pretty goddamn good.
Yeah.
Because almost assuredly the first time you use it is going to be Rend 3.
Yeah, that's true. I don't
Because
know
it's
if
short
that's
range, right? Yeah.
yeah.
Mine is just, yeah.
That's a little weaker than Mortal Wounds, though, isn't it?
More than 3? Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I don't hate this. Yeah.
no, I don't hate it either. I think it has some good targets that it can hit, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of sad that like against other monsters, it's only like one attack.
Yeah. Well, that's not the target, right?
Yeah.
That's not what you shoot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they intentionally made it so that that wasn't not the target
I
that
could
you
see a
want to hit with
mount
it.
trait being like you just get your 10 shots.
Well, that would be interesting.
Yeah. Or like make this like better against single target stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Something like that. I could totally
Yeah,
see
like
that.
instead of, you do it based on their wound characteristic or something instead.
Mm-hmm.
That could be kind of cool.
Yeah.
So just like change it up totally and just be like a monster killer instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like that. You
Yeah,
could get really
that'd be cool.
creative with the mount trait stuff.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, this would be the Fire Slayer army like I would want to build. Because I love the Magma Droths.
Oh, Magtrust, so
Yeah.
cool.
And then the fact that you can make a battle line.
Yep.
That's good stuff too. Oh man. I got a little bit of blue on the arm here. That's annoying.
Oh no, it's all over.
Yeah. That's okay. It's fixable, but it's just annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that's all the new rules for so far. Jesus. Yeah, let's go to our mission then
All right, let's do
that
it.
we made. All right, let me see.
For the record, this is Alex's
Yeah,
mission that
this
he
is my
made.
mission. I should put my name up there. But yeah, I call this one the Martyr's Gambit, and it's the normal army rules. Everybody has an army attacker defender deployment. So these are the deployment zones down here. It's the long way. There's and it's like half the or fourth of the map is your territory. So it's the shallow territory. And the
So good for aggressive expansion and bad for the one where you have to be wholly within.
Savage Spearhead.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yep. So victory points are normal. You score 1 if you control one objective. Score 1 if you control two. 2 if you control more. 2 if you won your battle tactic. And you score 1 victory point for each friendly hero that was slain wholly within your territory this turn.
One victory point for each friendly hero that was slain in your territory.
Yes.
Interesting. So if you get sniped, you get points for it.
Yes.
Interesting.
I wrote it a little wrong. So the idea is that like if you have like your backline hero here and then they want to like arch it off the table in your territory, they're incentivized not to because you'll be getting points for that.
Yeah.
That yeah. And so the reason why the territories are shallow is because I could just see a world where they weren't, and then you just like kamikaze your little foot hero into a big unit that you know is gonna die.
Yeah. No, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, and like that's still gonna happen, but it's gonna be way harder to do.
Yep.
And the reason why the primary one is only in the middle is so if there's like a foot hero that you feel like you need to shoot off,
Mhm.
and then you go second, you can remove the objective that they're standing on to try to force them to come up the board.
Interesting.
Or like move shittily into the other objective and not do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this one's not complicated, but the idea is like it protects your heroes.
I really like that. That's interesting.
Yeah. So like the incentives, like we were talking about incentive structures the other day
Yeah.
on stream, and I guess the incentive structure here is to punish shooting.
Yep.
And to promote little foot heroes.
Funny. I also have a thing that's very much incentivizes something in mine,
Mm-hmm.
just like yours, which is kind of neat.
Yeah. So one thing I was thinking about doing was changing it to be with wounds characteristic 9 or less. I don't
That's
know.
probably
Yeah.
that's probably a good change. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's kind of for the best, but at the other hand, I don't feel like there's ever a hero with wounds characteristic more than 9 that's gonna be like hiding in the backfield, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, unless you're getting like the other thing it disincentivizes is deep striking in the back of your opponent's territory.
Oh, that's kind of true too, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I thought of that the whole time, actually. No, but is that an interesting to de-incentivize?
I don't know. I more came up with that as it is a thing.
Yeah, it's true, but like that's a good conversation to have, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like so if I was playing this, like my necromancer for sure would be like sitting behind my lines, but like he's got a ward or bodyguard save, so maybe he's safe to go pull up the middle objective, and they keep like what Belladonna in the back,
Yeah.
something like
Does
that.
this map incentivize you kind of turtling maybe a little bit?
I think so, which is not great.
Maybe, maybe not. I don't
Maybe
know.
not actually, because you want to, yeah, because you'd be a little less incentivized to protect your hero in your zone. Not entirely, because you still want your hero.
Oh yeah, it's not really turtling, it's more just kind of leaving the foot heroes back.
Yeah.
You're incentivized to leave them in your territory
Hmm.
so that you can potentially get points for them.
Yeah. It
Which
might,
could be a good thing.
it
I don't
might,
know. That's
yeah, it might incentivize turtling in the sense that it kind of punishes like alpha striking.
yeah. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
Yeah, power projection of any kind.
Yeah.
And another thing too is like I don't know if a point is enough, but I feel like 2 points is too much, right?
Yeah, right? D2 points.
So one thing I was thinking about was 2 points, but capping it to only like 2 points per round. So if they kill one hero, they can go ham and kill the rest with only ever 2 points. But I thought that was a poor incentive structure too.
It's also hard to kill multiple in a turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even with like good archery.
And I think even if you're doing that, you're winning anyway.
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah, like yeah, I know the presentation of this isn't perfect, but like I don't know, like I think this has merit.
I
I think
think
it could be fun.
yeah, I think 1 point per is probably a good thing.
Yeah. And like another thing was I was thinking too, it might be better to give it like a Savage Gains where there's only 1 point in the back and it
Hmm.
pulls two heroes up instead of just only 1 point in the middle and gives you like plenty of opportunities to like have your hero stand in the back, hold the points, and also be useful.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that you can play with in missions. Like there's the, you know, how many objectives do you want, where do you want them to be? There's the
Yeah.
how do I want the deployment to go? And then there's the how does this all interact with my special rule that is in effect for this one?
Yeah, and I don't
Right.
think that's stuff that you can figure out by just talking about it.
Right. Yeah, you
But
kind of
it's
got to
like
see how it goes.
it's an interesting conversation to have, I think, but
Yeah.
yeah, like cuz I was just thinking about like your game and like how mad you were that like your big heroes were like just immediately shot off the board.
Right,
And
right.
it's like, yeah, that's not fun. But
Yeah.
like I don't know, like if you got like victory points for it, you'd be
Maybe
like,
it's a
well, at
little.
least like I'm playing on the back foot as far as like being able to do what I can do, but at least like they have to play their ass off now to
Yeah,
beat me.
they
Yeah.
they actually have to come and finish the job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which might like disincentivize turtling in a way too, if you're the shooting army.
Yeah, because you have to come out and make sure you're playing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, I think there's
right.
merit there. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
I
my
think it's
idea.
another one that I could see being like in a different meta, like
Yeah, bad incentive.
being bad incentive, but it's not in this one.
Yeah, that's true. And I think you could change that by like moving the points around too.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was my idea. Do you want to talk about yours a little bit?
Yeah. Okay, so mine was a pretty standard first blood one. I think it was called first blood.
Hmm.
Where you got the 3 points in the middle.
Yeah.
I did mine was gonna be the long deployment as well, like
Okay.
yours.
Yep.
Otherwise it's exactly the same, but with this one caveat. After every turn, if someone is controlling an objective, the opponent can move that objective 6 inches.
In any direction?
In any direction. You can't end closer than 12 inches from another objective. And I was going to number them, and you had to go in order, and I was going to number them 1 in the middle and then 2 and 3 on either side.
Okay. Interesting.
So basically, so what it lets you do is it lets you, if you don't have the point, you get the point moved a little closer to you,
Yeah.
potentially, so that it's easier to score. But because of that, you really have to make sure that you're scoring each side, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you kind of have to make sure that you're able to score uh, all of your points because your opponent's probably going to be able to. So you really have to like kind of go all out to score them. But also, what it disincentivizes is taking the double turn,
Yeah, because then they move
because
twice away.
exactly, like
Yeah.
if you control the objective and then the objective gets pushed back into their territory, now it's going to be a lot harder to go get it if you take the double turn.
I just
So
want to.
that's what mine disincentivizes.
I'm gonna take the brush tool real quick. Um, I just want to make sure I understand this. So, like, let's say it's this top left one. So you could either move it like 1, which is down, 2, which is like left, and 3, which is like right, for example.
As soon as it shows up.
Oh yeah, you're a little bit behind. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, you can basically move it any direction 6 inches you want.
Okay.
If Yep. So
And
if your
it's
opponent controls it, you can move it.
that's
And
for
that's at the
each
end of
objective.
every turn. Yeah, every objective, every turn, not each battle round.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Because
that's
I was thinking like the moving objectives thing is fun, but not when it like is random and only seems to benefit one person.
and snowballs. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Because nobody liked the relocation orb,
Correct.
in my
Yes.
opinion. Yeah.
Especially like fast armies had such an advantage on that.
Mm-hmm.
But now if you can like turtle up and move forward a little bit, right? And you could just pull it back into your territory, so that it could be like, if you're gonna have to make like a power play eventually to take one,
Yeah.
and if you take the double turn to try to get that, you're gonna have a much harder time. But maybe it's the right play, but maybe it's not because you won't get as many points.
I like that. Yeah. Yeah. So like that really shuts down the castle idea, I think, a little bit too. Unless like you build your castle like towards the middle.
Yeah, because like the objective will just kind of start
Yeah.
wandering away from you.
You
Right?
have to
Yep.
like dominate that point. Is what
Exactly.
I'm
Yep.
getting at. Like just have it like control it 6 inches out from every side.
Yeah. Which isn't exactly the easiest thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. What do you think?
I like that. And I think another like kind of fun play with that too is like I just put my horde unit like 6 inches outside of the one that you have,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
then you move it like into me, or like I move it. Yeah,
Yeah. 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 I know what you're saying.
yeah. Like
Yep.
that's cool. Yeah, I like that. That's a playful one.
And maybe it just ends up being just no one fights and everyone just scores each point each turn and it goes back and forth. But I feel like that's not usually how people play Warhammer. So
No, I know. I
it
feel like you'd
probably
want
won't
to
turn out
kill
that way.
them because like if you kill them, no matter where it moves, you just get it again.
Yeah.
If there's no bodies
If you
there.
can, yeah, if you can like hold one for a turn where you're able to absolutely wipe everyone out around it and like really hold that point, like you're going to be in a good position. But it's like really hard to do. It's not like you could
Yeah.
just like do that easily. You have to like invest a lot to do it.
So would the play to be to like just really focus on one of them?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
And like just really try to take one and just make sure you're in a position to take the others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder. I wonder that, and I wonder. So what happens if nobody controls one?
Then it doesn't move.
Yeah. And like, it's just a contest or control. It's probably just control, right?
Control. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like we should have had a lot more of these.
I did come up with that one fairly quickly.
Yeah. I want. So, what would your objective look like? Would it be this?
Oh, I was gonna do 3 in the middle.
I was
3
gonna
across
say,
the
yeah,
top.
I'd recommend 3 in the middle
Yeah,
or
yep, that
something
was
like that. Yeah.
I think that's what First Blood does. That was my idea.
Yeah,
for
I
that.
think First Blood in this edition is
Well,
like the corner ones. Yeah.
it's the corner ones, but like the idea is still that there's 3 evenly spread
Hmm.
out in the middle of the territories. Yeah.
I like playing the corner ones. I don't like setting up the corner ones.
Yeah, that's fair.
They're annoying.
Yep, agree.
Yeah, especially the ones that like are the corner ones that touch, but then it's like a 9-inch bubble out.
Yeah, and I really hate playing the short way deployment because everyone inevitably when they go up to a table, they put their stuff on one side, your opponent puts their stuff on the other side, and then you're like, why the fuck? How the fuck am I gonna like rotate this whole table? Especially like if you're at a place where like the tables are lined up, like pretty
Yeah.
close to each other, right? It's just like,
Hmm.
well, how do I even get to all my stuff?
Yep.
Yeah,
I agree. I'm not a huge fan. It feels so awkward.
it really does.
Hmm.
Yep.
But like I totally get that there's like a fair reason to play on those kind of missions.
Sure.
But ucky.
Lucky.
Yep.
Yes.
I don't want to be there.
Nope.
Yeah. The L-shaped deployment on focal points though, for the War Coda, I really liked that one though because it's like you're mostly on one side,
Yeah. Yep.
and then like it really like it seems like there's a far. Yeah, I think last time we were talking about that, I'm like, oh, these two seem like they'd be harder to get than the other two. And now
Yeah.
that I'm like really played it out, I'm like, oh, it's not. It's literally the same distance away.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, like it's still a diamond.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like you can still go corner to corner, but like it forces you to play on two fronts instead of like getting into the middle at all
Right.
and then picking which one. And I kind of like that, which I don't like that I put a middle objective in mind for that reason because I feel like playing to the middle is already strong.
Right.
But I don't think this is a mission that deserves to have 6 points. But maybe I'd do like a diamond instead here and have like the secondaries be the ones at the deployment zones.
I think I would do the secondaries. If you're gonna do a diamond, I think I would do the secondaries as the ones in the middle.
Why is that?
Because then like someone can get like way more screwed than someone else if you do it the other way. I feel
Hmm.
like because like very obviously like one's probably gonna be held by one person or the other in the back. And if you
Yeah.
can delete that one, then that gives a huge advantage to the person that did get deleted. Which maybe that's a good enough advantage because, you're going second in that battle round. But
Yeah. I see what you mean.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's something to play with.
Hmm.
Maybe it is a good idea to have the back ones be secondaries.
Yeah.
I
I
don't know.
just feel like the incentive to like make the back ones secondaries is like, and which is why I wanted two of them, right? Is so they couldn't screw all of your heroes at once. It'd just be like that thing needs to go, and I don't want to give you the points, so I'm deleting that objective and forcing it to come forward.
Yeah. I don't know. That's
Yeah.
that's interesting. Oh, the other thing about mine was I was gonna have them all be primary objectives, no secondary objectives
Oh,
to delete.
yeah. I thought of that, and I thought exactly that, and I didn't ask you to confirm, but yeah, I'm glad you did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I think there's already enough play with the objectives moving around that you don't need to also have one disappear.
Yeah. Is there a reason that you'd want to go second in your mission though? I'm curious.
Want to go second? Yeah.
Yeah.
If you went second in the previous battle round, you might want to go second again so that you can score, so that you don't have to go and get an objective
Oh, because they all
from
ran
your opponent.
away. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
So it kind of incentivizes more just doing like a bit of a normal turn structure,
Okay. Yeah.
like just alternating.
Yeah, I think 1,000% they all have to be primary.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like it would be earth shattering to have like one of those disappear on you,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
even though the burn is a May.
And the May for us is almost always whoops, we forgot. So it
Yeah.
didn't happen.
I'm trying to get way better about that.
Yeah. It seems like an interesting thing.
Yeah. Oh, I wanted to talk
Although,
about that actually too in our game with the focal points against the dragons. That
oh
did
yeah.
actually end up mattering.
Oh,
Because I
cool.
took the third turn, like the double turn there, to like make sure I could charge first into the dragons with the graveyard
Yep.
before the dragons turned around, deleted my graveyard entirely off the board.
Yeah.
But like I was ready for that sacrifice because I mean it means I turned the dragons around for a
Right.
turn,
Right.
which is fine. But yeah, and then so I was gonna have like the burn like the get the 2 points for holding the opposite ones,
Hmm.
but he burned one of those.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
so then I lost actually a lot of points going first in that round because he
Interesting.
burned it. Yeah,
Who ended up winning the game, by the way?
it
I don't
was
know if you
me
mentioned.
by
It was you.
3 or 4.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow,
but
close game. Nice.
if nothing was burned, I would have like gotten way far ahead because like
Did you
with
guys
him,
like both get your grand strategies and stuff?
yep,
Okay.
I did prize sorcery and I had Vanfred and the zombie dragon at like full wounds,
Oh yeah, there you go.
and
Easy.
then he took the hold the line and he had the Phoenix Guard. I don't know if you know those units at all.
I feel like I would know them if I saw them, but I don't know them
Their
offhand.
city's like high elf unit,
Yep.
and their whole shtick is they're like a 4-up save with a 4-up ward.
Oh my god.
Yeah, 170 points for 10 of them at 1 wound each.
Very hard to delete.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they're like okay because they're like the Phoenix on the Blizzard Phoenix gives them reroll wounds.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're expensive, but they're like completely worth their points.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Cool.
so like I just ignore those. Let them.
Yeah, it's like sure you can have your
Mhm.
grand strategy. I'll deal with them if I've kicked your ass so hard that it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to see grand strategies change up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
What have
too
we seen
easy.
it matter like once ever?
Yeah. How I feel like it's just like it would be exactly the same if it's just like if you tabled your opponent, get 3 points,
Yeah. Basically.
which we've talked about like before second edition came out that we think something like that would actually be a good rule.
Yeah, because then it's like because like sometimes it's like you get to the end of the game and that would give you like a chance to get back in it if you were like doing really well killing everything, but like
Horrible on points. Yeah.
yeah, like
Yeah.
you made the comeback but you couldn't quite make it all the way, so like the one way to do it is like, well, if I can get lucky and actually table you, I'll make these few risky charges and hope for the best.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would be happy to see that. So like, that's what the grand strategies are, but with like a lot of extra words. But I don't know,
Yeah.
for something called grand strategy, I would like them to be more like you get them if you do a thing.
Yeah. As opposed to your opponent doing a thing.
Oh, what's the one I like? It's called Vendetta in the main book. Or Sever the Head, that's what it is. It's kill all the enemy heroes.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, that one's like interesting. Because it
But
forces
you
you to
never
play a
take
different
it
way.
because it's so much more difficult than the other ones.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. But
Yeah.
yeah, that one's actually like that would be like fun to try to accomplish. And like if
Mhm.
you got like imagine if you got like 6 points for that one instead.
Yeah.
Like would you go for it?
Depends on the army, but yeah. If I had like heavy shooting forces, for sure.
Yeah.
Right?
Oops, incentivized the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Damn
Yeah.
it.
See, that's why these games are difficult to make.
Yep.
For sure. Yeah. Just holding, keeping a battle line unit like alive, or keeping like your monsters alive when your whole army is monsters, or like the Lumineth have the prize sorcery that you
Yeah,
always take.
price sorcery. It's just like, oh,
Hmm.
okay.
And
Did
even
I
if
get tabled? No. All right, I'm good.
I think I always take prize sorcery anyway.
I don't think I've seen a time that you didn't.
Yeah, because it's just my idea of like, well, my battle line are there to eat shit and die,
Yeah.
so that's what they'll do.
You know what's funny is I honestly should. I think I took like battle line survive because of with my Archaeon army because like you're not gonna kill all of those Chaos Warriors and Variant Guard. But then I thought, actually, if Archaeon dies, the whole army falls apart. So I might as well just take Prize Sorcery anyway.
Or Beastmaster.
Is that? Oh, that's have a monster. Yeah,
Yeah,
either one. Yeah.
yeah. I think that's a good point. Yeah, And like I think it would be way easier to kill your Vanguard than Archaon. Maybe not actually.
I don't really know if I'm being honest,
Now that I'm
because
thinking
everyone's
about
gonna
it,
focus
no.
on Archaon, so maybe
Yeah.
it's easier to kill Archaon.
Or like completely avoid him.
Hard to avoid him when he moves 14.
Yep.
Yeah, he was my opponent was like, well, at least Marathi moves faster than you do. She moves 14. I think Archaon moves 14 now, and he's like, really? I thought he moved 12. It's like, well, he used to, not anymore. I'm coming for you.
Yeah, that's awesome though.
Yeah.
I do like an Archaon.
Oh yeah, I love Archaon.
Yeah.
And of course, I had to like show him off to everyone that walked by. It's like, hey, look at my guy. Hey, look at my Archaon.
Yeah, it's just such a cool model.
Yeah.
I love my Prince Wardroid too conversion.
Oh, he's so good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who is fine, by the way.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I was like so nervous when you did that, and then it actually broke, and I'm like, no.
Yeah. So those on stream, I was showing them like I got this new like magnet carrying case,
Yeah.
and like I was just proving the point that like the magnets are strong enough to hold Archeon upside down because I stress tested it.
Yep.
And Bill's like, "Oh no, don't do that. It's gonna fall." It didn't fall. I grabbed it and pushed it off the base with my stupid finger.
And then it was all brokey.
Yeah.
I was sad.
I fixed it in like 3 minutes though. It's fine.
Well, that's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was like kind of funny. Like, see, nothing can go wrong. Oh.
Oh
The
well,
sales pitch is
he's in
dead.
pieces.
Yeah.
No, I think the sales pitch was still good because it did work.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like if they did the Dairy Queen cup thing and then they just like crushed it in their fist as hard
Yeah.
as they could. It's like, well, the cup thing worked. It's just they broke it.
Yep.
Oh no, I'm out of neolock oxide.
Oh
Or
no.
I'm very low on it.
Oh boy.
How did I manage to do that?
Because you use it on absolutely everything.
Yeah, and I've only ever owned one jar of this since painting 6 years ago.
Damn.
Yeah, it lasted me
I'm
a
always
long
amazed at
time.
how long the paints last. Because they look like such small pots, but they actually have like so much in them.
I gotta tell you, I lost more of them to them drying out
Yeah.
than to actually using all of the paint.
Yep.
The ones I run out frequently are Ushtabi Bone and Abaddon Black and
I
some of the shades.
Abaddon Black. I got Exerf Shade for a while, but I've started using a bunch of other ones, so not as much that one these days. Corn Red, predictably. Go figure.
Yeah.
Retributor Armor. That's one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, these like I don't run out of too often anyway. But
Actually,
I
I run out of
remember
Retributor
replacing these.
quite a bit.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
I
Like,
love gold, and that's like the gold that applies easy.
oh my god, and it just looks so good. It's just like, hey, did you just want like a perfect gold covering on this?
Mm-hmm.
Here you go.
Yep. Yeah, it's very good. I gotta get more nail lock, I think, too. I like that color a lot. And I use it mostly for ghost things. Yes. Yes, it's true.
Yes, go figure.
But I've actually used it for rust before, too. It's nice,
Damn.
yeah. Yeah, I can't think of a model I did that. Oh, I did it on Thankful, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like the copper and then the blues around that. I don't know if you
Nice.
remember. Yeah, that was all neolock oxide.
I don't know if I noticed. It probably just looked nice and weathered, and like I didn't like super pay attention to
Yeah,
the
what
how.
paint that was, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
But that's the way it should be, right?
Bill, I'm so excited for these new books.
Oh, I know, right? Like I can't wait to see what they do.
Yeah. I wonder how different they're gonna be, right? Because I feel like when the Stormcast and the Auric one came out, they were like insanely different from a second edition book.
Yeah.
And then the Nurgle one came out and it wasn't.
True.
Yeah, other than like the sub factions.
Yeah, the
Being way
sub factions
simpler.
they've really changed a lot.
Yeah.
in the new edition.
I like it, I think.
I like the not having required artifacts in command traits because
Mhm.
they make all of the ones that like the
There's-
other ones, and then you just can't use them, which
Yep.
feels bad.
There's like
Although they did make that better in the new edition too by letting you take extra enhancements, so they actually kind of doubled down on that, which I kind of really like.
yeah, I don't like the auto force take ones either.
Yeah.
But like the way that 40k does it is that it's just like if you're this Necron dynasty, one of the artifacts you can take is this.
Oh, that's a better way to do it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like yeah, they're elite. Their passive's not great, but like that artifact is, and it's really worth taking one.
Yep.
Yeah. And I like that a little bit because it's not forced,
Yeah.
but yeah,
It's not forced, but maybe
mhm,
it is what you want to be doing,
yeah.
and so you want to run it anyway.
And I think the argument too is like, well, yeah, that now you have a reason to not take a sub faction. It's or like yeah, when second edition when you're forced to take like all the artifacts and stuff.
Hmm.
Like there's actually a lot of times with Bone Reapers where I chose not to take a sub faction to
Yeah.
use the generic stuff,
Yeah.
and that was like an interesting choice. But
See, I feel like it always felt bad to not take a sub
it
faction.
did, yeah.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I did it a couple times
Hmm.
because it was worth it, but like, I don't know. I feel like it's fun to just like I kind of like how they're doing now, where like it's really just like the passive that you're getting from the sub faction, and then you just
Yeah.
get to pick the other things. So you kind of get to like craft your build a little bit more.
Hmm. Yeah, I wonder if we're gonna see more like command traits that are like how do I describe it? You know how like the Stormcast and Cruel Boys one where like not necessarily your general. Got it. Like yeah, like shock and awe is like whenever if you have a general, like whenever a unit deep strikes, they get -1 to hit till the end of turn.
Yeah.
Do you think there's gonna be more of that kind of design space coming soon?
I don't know.
I don't know how I feel about those either. They're very like weird on the paper.
The sweet spot for rules, I feel like, is when they read like common sense.
Yeah.
They play like common sense, and they're not too powerful.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it's really hard to get the wording right on things that you want to do.
Yeah.
And I think what happens sometimes is they like try to make it really fluffy, but to the detriment of actually using it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they're like, oh, but we're supposed to have this like really cool fluffy thing, and well, it just like
Like the
devolves
Ivory
into a
Host.
mess. Yeah, yeah, like the Ivory Host,
Yep.
or like any abilities that are like hyper specific. It's like if you're against Stormcast, then or
Mm-hmm.
like stuff like that. It's
Or
just like
against Nighthawk. Yeah.
yeah, it's like yeah, you're trying to be fluffy, and I get it, but like you could not, and it would be a better game.
Yeah. And I also found stuff that they did that was fluffy in the new Stormcast book that made sense.
Yeah,
Like the Retributors, like were good against reanimating units. It's basically because they're anti-death, but like rally looks like it's becoming more and more of a thing in this game.
mhm. So it becomes more relevant.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, and that's like a.
And now it's just a
Did
cool
you?
tech piece.
Yeah. Did you mean to say sequiturs?
What did I say?
Retributors?
Yeah, I meant to say sequiturs.
Okay, okay. I just double checking.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know if retributors had something that I just wasn't aware of.
Yeah, I meant sequiturs.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. They become like a cool little tech piece, like if the meta dictates, like
Mm-hmm.
that it's that reanimating's becoming really good, or if you're playing against someone and you always play against that army and you never beat that army,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, well, you know what? I'm gonna run a few little tech pieces to try to get an
Yeah.
advantage here.
Like I remember one of my friends who plays Stormcast is so pissed that sequiturs are useless now. Like no, they're just a little too expensive.
Yeah.
I think. But like if you played against me all day, yeah, you'd probably just run
Yep.
them. You stopped running sequiturs though, didn't you too?
I haven't just really haven't had the chance to try them out, I think.
You stopped playing
More than
Stormcast too, even. That's really
yeah,
the thing.
more like that. Yeah, I just haven't been in the mood to play Stormcast as much recently.
Yeah. Weirdly, I'm not either.
Yeah,
Like I got
I don't
the
know.
couple sets of like a Dominion to build and paint them, and like one of them's not even built yet.
Yep, same here.
Yeah, some of them are only just primed.
Yeah. I was all excited about them, but then I was just like, I don't know. I think it had something to do with me trying to use an airbrush for it to do the painting job too, because like
Hmm.
it's okay, but it's like so much setup and work to get going, and then like things go wrong all the time, and I'd rather just use a brush.
That's what I'm afraid of with them too.
Yeah.
They
Like
might be
yeah, I
good for
understand
priming.
do like cool effects, but like man, I'd rather just take a brush to something
Do
because
what I'm
I know
cozy
how to.
with. Yeah, I understand. Airbrushes
I,
scare me.
yeah, they're. I mean, they're fine and they're cool when they do work, and everything. But
Hmm.
I've had enough problems that it's just like, oh man, it's just like some days you're just like, I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to spend like a half an hour just cleaning up afterward
Yeah,
and like cleaning out the airbrush really good and everything.
like you gotta clean it or else
Oh,
like,
you have to,
yeah,
yeah. Oh yeah,
yeah, I totally
or
get
that
it.
shit'll get gunked up and you won't be using that at all.
Hmm.
Yep.
I think if I ever get one, it's gonna be for like priming.
I mean, even then, you still have to clean it.
Yeah,
Like that's
but like I could see myself being like, all right, I have 1,000 things to prime. Let's get it done.
yeah, no, that's true.
Like, and it's the winter time.
Yeah, it's definitely better than a spray can for that for sure.
Hmm. Yeah, for sure.
The one thing is the paint doesn't dry quite as quick, so it's actually really kind of difficult to do multiple coats quickly with it.
Hmm.
Because if you leave it thick, it doesn't come out, or it comes out super splotchy. But
Yeah.
as you thin it down more, then it like leaks a little bit on the model, and you really have to let it dry for quite a while before you can like do it again.
Hmm.
That's my experience anyway. I'm probably doing something wrong.
Yeah. And I know I hear people like who live and breathe by them too.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And I'm sure like and then I see them like do their YouTube tutorials on them and I'm like, "Oh, wow. That's
Yep.
impressive."
Yep.
And then I just remember the 3D printer that's just like in my basement collecting dust because like
Yep.
it kind of broke and I don't know how to fix it. And I've
Yep.
tried to do it and then like it just one thing after another.
Dude, I get it.
It's tough work.
Yep. We got a lot of stuff printed with those things, those 3D printers though.
Oh yeah.
It was totally worth it. Like I have
Hmm.
so much goddamn terrain.
It needs to get painted.
I painted a decent amount of my stuff actually.
Hmm.
Not all painted, not even close. But I did do pretty good on that one.
Yeah, you like terrain more than I do for painting.
Yeah.
It's fortunate.
Well, fortunate and unfortunate, because you can get away without terrain, but you can't get away without an army.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing I struggle to want to do is terrain.
Yeah, I don't struggle to want to do that.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's for sure. I almost feel like I need to do my armies instead of terrain because like that's what everyone's really looking at.
Yeah.
And I have so goddamn many of them.
Hmm. Because I have like the Dawnbringer Crusade terrain with like I painted the soldiers with the fire inside,
Yeah.
and like those came out really cool. But then I have like the part that's like the wooden scaffolding. I'm
Yep.
like, oh, that's gonna be tedious. I don't want to do
It
that.
definitely gets so. Yeah.
And I'm sure like at the end of the day, it's not a problem.
Funny thing is, like I got this thing like a long time ago, the big
Oh
circular
yeah,
thing,
you were so
and I
excited for
haven't done
that.
anything with it yet. But it's because like I don't know what I want to paint it to look like. Like I don't know the colors, and if I don't know the colors I want for something, it'll just sit gray forever.
Yep. Don't know how to start.
Yep. It's like I don't know what colors I want, and until I know all of the colors I want, I'm not gonna touch the damn thing.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I can start if I know a few of the colors, and I
Yeah,
just
and then
did
you
a
figure
few.
like I
Yeah.
usually can't figure out what to do with weapons. Weapons are actually the hardest for me for
Oh,
whatever reason.
really?
Yeah, I don't know why, but I usually they usually happen last for me.
I think mine are very easy because I think they're all the same thing of like the gold hilt and the silver blade.
Yeah.
Or if it's like, oh, this is like a spirit halberd, and I like blue, so I'm painting it blue with a lot of dry brushing shades.
The problem I have usually is the haft of the weapon.
All right.
Like, do I make it the same color? Do I make it a totally different color as the rest of the model? Like for this one, like I normally do like corn red for it for like a lot of armies, but this
Mm-hmm.
one I probably don't want to. Do I want to do it like a wooden shade? Do I want to do it like a dark or a light one? If I do,
A
I
lot
don't
of
know.
my
Lots
spear
of
handles are just black too.
yeah. See, I could do black, I suppose. I don't usually do black for that kind of thing though. So like I don't know.
Is it like a handle with like a leather grip on it?
Yeah, so so not only is there the leather grip on it, right? But then there's the wooden portion, and then there's the metal bits. It's like, do I want those to be silver or gold? And
Mm-hmm.
do I want the leather straps to be lighter or darker than the wood shade? Do I want to do the wood like something fancy, or do I want to do the leather straps something fancy color? And then I just like endlessly argue with myself over it, and it never happens, and I
Mm,
just put it off till the end.
I see.
Yep. Now you have the insight into my mind for why I struggle with them so goddamn hard.
Mm, it's a tough spot to be.
Right? You get it.
I get it.
You
I
don't.
do. No, I kind of do. I
No, no,
I
I know,
don't
I
get
know.
it
I'm joking.
specifically with weapons, I'll say,
Yeah, yeah,
but I've definitely had that plight with other things.
yeah. It's like
I
there
don't
are so many
know.
options, and I don't know what's gonna look good, and they'll probably all look fine, and I just should pick one, but I
Hmm.
can't.
Yeah, I get it.
Actually, with these guys, I was struggling with what to do with the bodies,
Hmm.
honestly. Like, because I didn't want it to just look just like the guy on the bottom, like this, like it
Hmm.
just like do the same highlighting, because I feel like it just all blend in. So I've been like struggling to figure out what I wanted to do. And I finally came up with something that's just like a little more red than normal than I was doing with my other guys, just to give it a little, just to make it like stand out a little bit more.
Hmm.
I think it's working.
So you know what my issue is too. Remember, Curse City came out like months and months ago.
Yeah.
And I got all of them but one done 2 weeks in, and I
Yep.
still have literally one more to go, and I just can't fucking do it. I don't know why.
Yep. Which one?
The Meteor Priest,
Oh, okay.
and that was like one I was excited for too. Even
You just can't figure out what to do.
yeah, it's no, I know what I want to do.
Oh, you just don't
I
have
just
any ambition to do it.
yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah.
It's so not fair to that model.
Do it next week on stream.
Oh no, I don't know about that. I
Oh
should. You're right.
no, you really have no ambition to do it.
I I don't know. It's scary. I don't know why. It has
That's
no
fair.
business being. No, it's not fair. It's dumb. It's not scary at all. But why
Hey,
is
you
it?
get Alex, you're human, and it's okay.
Yeah, no, I have to be perfect. It's not about having fun. It's about winning.
Oh, that's what painting's about.
Yeah.
I see.
I'm kidding, but yeah.
How
Man,
many uh how many golden demons do you have?
all of them.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You just like shapeshift into all of these other people
Yeah.
to just like yeah.
Yeah, I'm also every healer in every RPG, every MMO. Yeah, and like I'm also the passive healing that the game gives you.
You are the passive healing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's how good of a healer I am. Yeah, I
Oh
just
man.
yeah, me existing gives passive regen in games.
It wasn't the designer's choice to put that there. Oh no. It
No.
was because you live and therefore it exists.
Yeah. And they're like, "Oh man, I can't fix this bug."
Like yeah, it's just they just keep healing. I didn't implement this, but it happens.
Hmm. That's stupid. Why did I say that?
It's really funny.
It's funny, yeah. These Morghast are so cool, dude.
Yeah.
It's just you probably have units in some of your armies that are like, I wish they were like good
Yep.
instead of okay.
Oh yeah, I have one of those in particular. Mystic Gorgon. I
Mm-hmm.
love that model.
Yeah.
I would love him to be better.
Mm-hmm. You know what, too, like I keep going back to the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth in that army, looking
Hmm.
at it, because I'm like, that thing is so cool. Like I bet like a ramp version of that model would look incredible.
Oh yeah, if they revamp that model, I would probably get it.
Mm-hmm.
But like as it stands, I'm not doing it.
And then I just like look at the War Scroll, and it's got like, oh, the attack has 3 damage. That's good, but it has like 3 attacks. I'm like, oh, never mind.
Apparently, it's actually pretty good. Like it has some good spells it can cast and whatever. And
It's actually yeah, it's good.
yeah, it's
But
just like I just don't wanna.
the thing is like it's good for like it's 155 point cost.
Yeah,
Is the
that's
thing.
true.
It's like
It's just like depressing. Like the point cost is just depressing.
that thing to me should be like 280 and like
Mhm.
undercosted at 280
Yeah, right.
in my opinion, rather than like
Yep.
150 and like actually pretty good. Well, not undercosted, you know what I mean, but like
I know. Yeah, yeah.
wow, that thing is
Feel
awesome.
good. Be like, wow. It's like, oh man, that's only 280, and I get all that. Damn.
Yep.
Yep.
And it's like it's not far off from that, I think. Like it could be like the Vengo Lord, right? The
Yeah.
Vengorian Lord is like not it's like pretty good for like
Yep.
285.
Yeah. Exactly. It could be somewhere in that power level.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the area I want the Gorgon to be in, like the 280 mark or so,
Yeah.
like that power level, like
Mm-hmm.
Baron Guard level ish. Just maybe not as absurd as a Baron Guard is.
Yeah. That's
Although if they gave it to me, I would play it. Like let's be
mm-hmm.
real.
That army's super interesting to me though. So I feel like a lot of the things that make it bad are like an identity thing.
Hmm.
It's like, oh, like they're very weak armor. Like that's an
Yeah.
identity thing. I'm like, well, that kind of sucks for them.
Yeah. It sucks a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's like I'm taking like a ridiculous. I'm taking like 100% more damage than most other armies do.
yeah. And it's like Tau aren't allowed to do anything but shoot because of their identity.
Yep.
And we're like, well, that's shitty for the game.
Yep.
Like, yeah, why aren't they allowed to play the rest of the game? And people
Although I
will
don't
like
think.
defend that point to the death.
Yep.
Yeah.
Funny. I don't think anyone's gonna be like, man, they better keep beasts at a low save, or I'm gonna be so mad.
Hmm.
I don't think anyone's saying that.
But I could see on the other hand of like if they're at like a 3-up save and they become like a weird elite army, the people who got them because they were a horde army would be like, oh come on, man. I
Oh,
have like
maybe.
100 gore and I don't know what to do with them.
I mean, if they do balance well, you can run anything.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Hmm. I would like to see the big monsters be on a 4-up save though.
Yeah,
Like
like
this is the
that's
modern
kind of all I'm
era.
asking for.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I wasn't really asking for like a super good save, just like make it a 4-up at least.
Yeah.
Jesus.
The foot guys can have their shitty save, but they're fine because they're just chaff anyway.
Well, the funny thing is, the Gores have a 4-up, and so do the Bestigors.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Ungors are 5.
Ungors are 5. Yeah,
Okay.
all this is assuming shield, I think, but yeah,
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Yeah.
yeah. So why doesn't the Gorgon have a better save or like a lot more to compensate?
Actually, this is slightly relevant. What I wanted to bring up with the Magmadroth too
Hmm.
is on the wounds bracket. Did you notice that it said 14 up?
Team up.
Yeah, it
No, I
shows
did
like how
not.
much damage. Like if it took 14 or more as its lowest bracket,
Hmm.
and normally it's dead at 14.
Ooh, interesting. Got a
So
few
a
more wounds probably.
few more wounds. Yeah,
Yeah, nice.
it makes you hopeful when your Beast book comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna get a few more wounds on that Gorgon.
few more wounds on that Gorgon, maybe a 4-up save to boot, and we're gonna be in business.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be great.
You know what actually sucks about the Gorgon more than the save?
What's that?
Is like it takes 1 damage and then it like loses 50% of its power.
Oh yeah,
Obviously that's an
absolutely.
exaggeration, but really not much.
But not much of one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It degrades so goddamn hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
that's the true terror of that unit.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm gonna fight you, and I'm like, oh, I gotta fight it first, and I did like 4 damage, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Now I can't do anything anymore with this thing.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
It's funny, the Chimera is even worse.
Yeah.
The Chimera is like all of its things are in its all of its degrading things are in its attack profile. And
Mm-hmm.
like the missile weapon, as soon as it hits like 3 wounds, goes from D6 damage to D3 damage.
Yeah.
And then it goes from and then like at the same point the rend on like the avian head goes from -3 to -2, and like I think it's the damage on something else drops as well. It's like leave no good stat unpunished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's I feel like if I were a beast player or like a Sylvaneth player, and I just like saw some of these modern degradation profiles, I'd be
Oh
like
yeah.
so pissed. It's like, oh, what Kragnos is? It's like, oh, no matter what, he still has all the attacks, the Rend 3/4 damage weapon.
Yep.
His other thing that degrades is like his hoof to be
Yeah,
like
it's like
from 4 attacks to 2 attacks or some shit like that.
ooh,
Yeah, and then like,
scary.
oh, he counts as 35 wounds on the objective, and he degrades all the way down to 18. Like that's not even meaningful degradation.
It's not.
Like that doesn't
No.
mean anything.
No, it doesn't.
And you're like, what's mine? It's like, oh yeah, well, you go from like 8 attacks to 4 attacks with like taking
Yep.
2 damage.
Yep.
You're like, oh, I
Great.
guess I'll go fuck myself then.
Yeah. Basically.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just I would be so mad reading some of those profiles.
The when I was playing Archeon, he dealt like 6 damage to him. It's like, oh, so what's he degraded to? And I'm like, he degrades at 9.
Yep.
He got him to 9, but it didn't matter.
No, that's such a healthy choice, I think, for the bigger models.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I think another thing that makes giants so like annoying is that they don't degrade till like they're down to like 12 wounds left.
Oh my god! And they start
Yeah,
with what, like
35.
35?
Yeah.
Like it feels like 50% of wounds gone is like the spot.
Yeah.
Like that's probably where they should start degrading.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree. And I get that they wanted to make it feel like a normal unit, like with the rate it degrades at.
Yeah.
But like, there's so much advantage to being a unit over a monster,
Yeah.
and it's mostly like wounds, like the wound economy on it is usually absurd.
Yeah.
Even in the era of the beast, where monsters are really good.
Yeah, the wound economy still isn't
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Well, I guess
Some
hero
some
monsters
it is.
are really good, but like not hero monsters like also really struggle.
Mhm.
Because the other rule I always forget about on Gur is if you're a monster, or each turn you get a point for for a monster you've slain.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we always forget about
We
that.
always forget that, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we remembered in our game with the against the dragons, but he's like, "Oh, do you like? Don't you get a point for killing a monster?" I'm like, "Oh no, no, not this battle tech." He's like, "No, just for being in Gur." And he pulls out the rule. I'm like, "Oh my god, you're right." He's like, "Oh damn, that makes the Cygor horrible then."
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
right?
I spent 150 points to give my opponent a victory point.
Yeah. It's like, what? Cygor's so bad, man. Oh my
Yeah,
god. I don't know why I ever even run that thing. I'm literally just like down 140 points for nothing.
it's so sad though, because I love that thing.
Oh, me too. Fucking huge ass boulder. It's so cool.
Yeah,
It's like, man, that thing could have some seriously good shooting, like with like today's standards, and it's just dog shit.
yeah. I wonder though, like, I know it'd be kind of a feels bad thing, but if it was just like absurd at sniping like wizards,
Hmm.
that might just be good enough for it. Like that might be an interesting spot for it. Like, well, we have the Gorgon, which is the close combat one, and we can't make it like compete with that at all.
Hmm.
And then we just made it like an anti-wizard artillery unit.
I mean, it can do that,
Yeah, but like if they
but
made
the
it good
problem,
at that, right?
they'd have to make it good at that because like currently, yes, it can smush it if you roll good on a d6, or it could do 1 damage,
Mm-hmm.
and you still get a save, and it's still somewhat unlikely to hit considering it hits on 4-ups.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That'd actually be cool if like instead of anti-wizard shooting, they just made it like a dedicated ranged unit.
I'd be fine with that, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, sounds good. Sign me up.
Like 3 attacks with like decent to hit and to wounds.
Right? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that'd be because one attack feels really bad,
Oh
especially when
yeah.
you miss. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's one of those things too that like the fact that it's so bad makes it feel bad when it does work too. Where if like it was just consistent at it, you'd be like, all right, now I have to know to play my game around this thing.
Yeah.
But you're
And
like,
then
there's
it's like,
no way it's gonna work, and then it works. You're like, oh, fuck.
yeah, it's like, oh, I completely smushed your dude out
Yeah,
of nowhere. Yeah. It's
yeah,
kind of like what's a foot of Gork?
yeah.
That spell feels so bad when you get hit by it, like especially multiple times,
Oh
and
yeah,
you just
there's
get
that one
fucking
game
ruined.
you got hit by
Yeah,
it 3 times in a row.
3 times in
Like
the
you
same
somehow got a
fucking
10
game.
up to cast three
Yeah,
times
it's
in a
got.
row.
Yeah, it was just like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, and then it has like ways to like keep going and everything too. Like it could fizzle out, but it like totally didn't against me. It
Mm-hmm.
just like absolutely ruined that game because it just absolutely killed everything
Yeah.
by itself. It was just like, man, that felt awful.
I get why people are excited for that spell. I hate that.
Yeah,
It's the same
because it's
issue I
like,
have with dragons, but it sucks, so it's fine.
yeah, pretty much.
It was just like the potential to spike is there,
Yeah.
like so hard.
Yep. Yeah, because it's like it either does nothing and it feels bad for the orc player, or it like wicked changes the game and feels bad for the other person.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's never like a just like a ooh, this was like a fair exchange.
Yep. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't think most people take it anymore though. I
No,
think
I
it
can't
feels
imagine you do.
terrible. Yeah.
Yeah. But the problem is it's like never set up to feel good either.
Yeah, it's never
Like
a healthy spot in the game.
yeah, it's either
It's just a mini.
you're you're not doing anything and it's stupid,
Mm-hmm.
or you just demolish that guy for no fucking reason.
Yeah. And I know there's people who are like, I don't care if I win or lose. I just want to play and have fun. You
Yeah.
kind of care if you win or lose.
But like even there, like
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't feel good for your opponent when you actually do pull that shit off though.
Oh yeah.
It makes for memorable stories considering we're still talking about it.
Yeah.
But like
It was
yeah, I
really
don't know.
funny.
Yeah, me just shouting over to the other room, he got it again!
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah. And that was on fucking repeat game. Oh
Yeah.
my god. Even the second game. Like we played a second game and he just kept getting it. It was
Mm-hmm.
just like, what the fuck? I think he got it 4 times in total.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
You know what it feels like actually? Not to
What's that?
keep bringing magic into it, but have you ever been to like an F&M or like online or whatever, and you're like playing a tournament deck and you're trying to do well, and then you get
Mm.
paired against like fucking tribal wizards or some shit like that
Yeah.
with like a set with no support for it, and then you just like miss 2 land drops and then you lose because of it.
Yep.
And they're like, "Wow, my wizard deck's really good," and they're
It's
like,
like,
not even like,
oh
"I'm sorry you didn't draw well, man," but they're
yeah.
just like, "I won." Like, oh,
Like, oh boy.
you have no idea.
Yep. I didn't go to the Pro Tour because I couldn't draw a fucking forest.
Yeah, you were telling me that.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you want to tell that story or
Yeah,
have you
sure. I
emotionally
so
recovered?
this was oh yeah, it's fine. So I was it was Scars of Mirrodin,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah. It was a sealed into a draft top 8, and my sealed pool was absolutely disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
I had like I had more removal than you could possibly know what to do against, and like good threats to boot, like
I
Steel
love
Dragon.
drafting that way. Yep.
Yeah, it was just like I had like what Skin Render I think was one of them in that set, and
Yep.
like Forge Fiend I think was a 3/3 that killed an artifact when it came into play.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had 3 Galvanic Blasts and 3 of the black -4/-4.
Yep.
It was absolutely disgusting. One guy was like, "Man, I've been trying so hard to get here. This is what I have to face." I was like, "Well, sucks to suck. Sorry, bud."
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I go like 6-1-1 on the day or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 6-2. I don't know. Something really good, and I got into the top 8, and it was very exciting. And then in that set, it turns out if you were the only one at the table to draft a poison deck, and no one else did, you basically won the game. You basically were just in such a sweet spot.
Yep.
And I did. I got it because no one else was gonna go for it. Because if 2 people went for it, it was over.
Yeah.
There wasn't enough.
The prisoner's dilemma, right?
Yeah, basically. And I opened a oh what was the 5/3 that was only around for a turn called? Very rare.
Putrefax.
Putrefax. I drafted him first, and then I drafted a Mimic Vet second, and was like, oh boy, let's fucking go.
Oh no. That's terrible.
And then I got all the other poison stuff, and it was fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 games in a row, I couldn't draw a fucking forest. Like one game, I just got land screwed, and I won the game so many turns in a row if I just drew the second forest to play the Putrefax,
Yep.
and I couldn't fucking do it. I just couldn't get that forest, and he ended up beating me, and that was that. And it was just like, oh my god, this feels so bad. I had the deck, and it was right there, and I couldn't get it.
Yeah, that's rough.
But it was very exciting to get to the top 8.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I could just imagine the other guy, like not even in a rubbing it in your face way, but like just so fucking excited about it. He's like, "Yes, I won! Yeah!" And then you're like, "You didn't win. I lost."
It's like, man, you have no idea what just happened. Yeah. Well, I probably showed him, but
yeah. It's just it's upsetting.
Well,
sure.
I still have fond memories of it because I still made it there.
Yeah.
Which was super cool. But could have gone to Paris.
Yeah. Wow. I guess you could go to Paris anyway. But
I mean, I could, but
they
were gonna pay for the flight and everything, and I was gonna play in the Pro Tour there, and that would have been something.
Yeah. Do you think you could have done well in the Pro Tour?
No, absolutely not.
I don't know about that.
I was a poor college student at the time, so I couldn't have really afforded a good deck for it.
Okay.
So, I maybe couldn't have even gone because it would have been too expensive for me to go, type of thing. So it was one of those things. I don't, unless my parents really helped at that point. It probably wasn't feasible to do well. That and I didn't have enough people to really play test well against and everything. So
yeah,
I don't think I would have done well, but it would have been a really cool experience. So
yeah, what you did it sounds like you got there off a lucky deck too. Of being able to get the draft deck that was.
Oh, for sure. That sealed pool was insane. Absolutely insane. But I mean, draft limited in Magic has always been my specialty, though. That's what I'm pretty decent at.
Yeah.
So, the pool opened up in front of me, and I saw it and was able to pilot it well enough and
get it there. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not amazing at limited. I'm not bad, but it's not exciting to me, so I'm not good at it.
Yeah, it's always been my favorite.
Yeah, and
style for Magic, quite a lot.
Yeah, I try, and I'm decent at it, of course. Yeah, it's just I want to play black decks, and then I super overvalue the black cards, and super undervalue the other cards.
Yep.
Because I'm very much a form over function. Just one reason I really took to this game too.
Yeah, because you can absolutely do that in this game.
Yeah. It's one of the death armies will be good.
Yep, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Right now it's Soul Blight.
Yeah, dude, I love the way that like Soul Blade plays. Even when
Oh,
like
they're
even if
awesome.
it's gonna be
Yeah.
weak, like like what they do is so fun to me.
Yeah.
Like I used to be like so like all about the Virkos dynasty. And I think I will be again. But like lately I just been on like a Legion of Night kick.
I've noticed, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like it's the same units, but like the abilities that you can do with them off the allegiance abilities is like so different, like so good.
Yeah. I mean, that's cool that there's like so many different things you can do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just like the main reason I'm not more upset about like the other death factions being in like a pretty rough spot right now.
Because you have the one that's like, oh, hang on, this
It
is the
does
one I play.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There it is.
Yeah, like if Flesh Eater Courts is like the only good one, for example, I'd be like, cool. I have 4 armies in one list.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
I guess there's a couple lists in there, but
It's not as many by
yeah.
any stretch. Yeah.
But it's just like, oh, I'm gonna take the Life Swarm and like I can do all this different stuff in this book with the Life Swarm. Or
Hmm.
like the mirror, like oh, the mirror is so good here.
Mira was really fun to play in with Techless. That was that was neat.
Yeah.
It I found it really interesting that it was like it was more of a question of like, can I get away with not using the mirror to get an
Mm-hmm.
extra spell for a turn?
Yeah.
That I found very interesting.
Yeah. I think it's that's like one of the I think healthiest endless spells.
Which is weird considering it was definitely the one that was causing the most problems
In the
over the
meta.
course of
Yeah.
its existence.
Well, I just think the issue is like the stuff that was like problems then is just like par for the course now.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
And they also did make very good changes to it.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Like only being able to cast one spell through it
Yeah.
and make it like an appropriate points cost and or
Mm-hmm.
more appropriate anyway.
Yeah.
Didn't it used to be like freaking like when it first came out like 30 points
It
and
was
like you
something
cast as
cheap.
many spells through it as you
I
wanted?
think it was 60.
Oh, okay. Was it
Yeah.
60?
Mm-hmm. I remember how bent the Gemnids of Volgish were
Oh
when
my
they first
god, those
came
things
out.
were so dumb.
Yeah.
See, I just like kind of liked the look of them, and then I played them, and they were so stupid.
Yep.
It was like,
Like
after like a couple
2v3 and
games, it's
this
like,
unit can't do combat.
yeah,
Yep.
it's like after a couple games of playing those, I was like, I really shouldn't play these anymore. They're so
Mm-hmm.
powerful.
Yeah. At 40 points too, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was like, oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
I feel kind of proud of myself for identifying that they were really good, because sometimes it's hard to do.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't with them, but
It's yeah. I get it for sure.
yeah. It's always
Uh,
neat when you like with you with fulminators where you like called out that oh these things are super good and then
yeah.
they totally are.
Mm-hmm.
It always feels good to like be right on those guesses.
Yeah, I wonder too, because like unfortunately I didn't save the VODs from when we were going over the Stormcast book. But I
Hmm.
remember our show was like pick the 5 things we thought were good.
Yeah.
And like I picked Fulminators was the one. I picked Protectors,
Yep.
which I just think they're not good now because of the meta that they're in.
Mhm.
Let me rephrase. It's not the meta, it's the internal balance of the book just makes the dragons and the fulminators and the long strikes like
Yeah.
the things you want to be
Those are just what
doing.
you run. Yeah.
Yeah, and the anvil that you run is the dragons because it's mobile.
Right.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like there's a world where fall or protectors are actually insanely good for their points cost.
Yep.
And like I think that's still the world. It's just there's better stuff right now.
So why wouldn't you run the better stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What else did I pick? I think I picked castigators because I was like, these aren't that bad. Like, so I was like, yeah, they seem like shit, but then you really think about how cheap they are and that they're like a mobile shooting unit, and they'd have like Ren 2, and it's like they're actually fine.
Yeah.
They
It's
don't see
just
play because of long strikes, but
yep. Exactly. Yeah. It always sucks when like well, you never really know how a unit performs because like unless you play it yourself because like tournaments don't run it because it's not optimal. And there's like something that's just better normally, so they
Mhm.
always run that instead. And because it's not like oh, they're 70% better, so they played 70% more. No, they're 1% better, so they're played 100% more.
Yeah.
Right?
You know what I was thinking was interesting too? Is that I feel like with Stormcast, like the way they try to do it is like different units are good against different things and they're like a toolbox army.
Mhm.
So like the units that are good could shift at a dime based on what the meta becomes.
Mm.
So you look at stuff at like tournament level and you're like, oh yeah, like well the fulminators and the long strikes are super good right now, for example, right?
Yep.
And then you bring like this other unit and then they happen to be like the meta pick against like the army your friend's playing.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure if you play like death armies and your friends bring sequitors, you're like, well, these are clearly the best things in the book.
Yeah, it's like clearly this is what I wanted to bring.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
like, well, yeah, clearly against you, that is the best unit they have because it's a
Yep.
toolbox army.
Yep.
Or like the insane points efficient things are actually like not even that. And like those are overcosted against most people.
Oh yeah. But against like death armies, it's like, oh my god, look at how good these are.
Yep.
So absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh,
I,
look at that. It's already 9:04.
yeah, I was gonna mention something, and then I decided if I didn't say anything, I could finish the uh, null oil here.
I mean, you could still finish the null oil there.
Yeah,
I'm not going to be like, all right, Alex, we're getting off right
yeah, we
now.
hit the. I was gonna be sneaky about it and be like, "Well, it's about time to get done," but also be done with this, and then you called it out. Yeah, that's funny though. But yeah, what army do you want to build the list for tonight?
um, I don't know. I don't have anything particularly in mind right now.
Um,
You have one you're excited to
I
build
could
a list for?
talk about like what I would do with like Nagash and Night Haunt. It was the first idea I had.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Um,
I don't think we've done that on stream.
I'm playing Osiark this weekend against Nurgle.
Oh, you got that itch again.
Well, the thing is my buddy is playing a very. We don't know if it's a casual list, but we think it might be.
Okay.
And it's a Nurgle list that's all three of the Maggot Lords.
Oh, interesting.
So he's having me build them for him because he hates building models. And then I'm
I find
just
that very interesting because I really like building models.
yeah, I'm like that's my favorite thing. I'm like fuck it, I'll do
I
it
know,
for you.
right?
And he's like,
Yeah.
really? You would do such a thing for me? And I'm like, no, idiot, I'm doing it for me. And I think I literally said those words to him. And he's like, oh, I
Yep.
can't thank you enough for this. But like
Like,
them
great.
sitting on my table
Uh-huh.
makes me more now than ever. I want to build that army.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a actually going back full circle to Elden Ring. There's a zone that I think would make a fantastic Nurgle scheme.
Ooh,
So keep
that's
that in
exciting.
mind. Yep.
I will keep an eye out for that.
I think it
I
would
got a
be pretty
feeling it's gonna be
obvious.
pretty obvious, yeah.
Yeah, but like I think that would be so fucking cool. All right, slideshow. All right. So I could show you his list. I could show you an Otsiarch I'm doing. I should show you a Night Haunt.
Whatever you're most in the mood for.
Um, yeah, I think the Otsiarch list is pretty boring because it's gonna look very much like the rest of them.
Let's see the Nurgle list.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah, let's do the Nurgle. All right, Allegiance, Magickin and Nurgle, Subfaction. I'm pretty sure he did the extra tree one.
Can we talk about how I really want to be able to change the subfaction on the app after you create the list? And you can't.
Yeah, it makes me so mad.
Oh my god.
I forget which one
Anyway.
he did. Might have been Befouling Host. I think it was the extra tree one. Yeah. And let's say they're from Giran.
Iran.
Mm-hmm. I think you do Beastmaster with these guys. Because like Orgoth's Demon Spew is actually like insane damage for his points.
Which one is that again?
It's one of the Maggot Lords. I think he's got like It's something like 6 attacks, um, with like 2 Ren, 2 damage, and then his mount does stuff.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. I'm just gonna see if I put Maggot Lords if they all pop up. No.
Bummer.
Yeah. Alright, Chaos. Maggot Kindergarten. War Scrolls. Yeah, so let's see. Orgoth's Demon Spew. Yeah, he's got 5 attacks degrading, 3s, 2s, -2, 3.
Wow.
He's got a Grasping Tongue, which is 3, 2, -1 d6, 1 attack. And it's ranged actually of 7 inches.
Ooh,
And his
spicy.
Rot Axe is 7 attacks, 3, 3, -1, 2.
That sounds very good.
Yeah, and yeah. He's got a 5-up ward because the whole army has 5-up ward. And if you get a
Right.
6 on it, you knock a normal wound back. And then
Oh,
you can
I like it.
issue
Yeah.
a command point for free.
Is it melee only for the knockback?
Within 3. Yep.
Wound? Okay, I assume so. But
So actually, the way it's worded, let's say he's in combat with something, and then something shoots him.
it would still work.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. And the free command point, 14 wounds with a 3-up save for 300 points.
Okay.
That thing's nuts. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he did, yeah, Morbidex Twiceborn, and then what was the last one? Blow Barat Spawn, and of course you take the Rancid Visitation. That one's like a no-brainer to me. But I think he's got like
Oh yeah.
a spell that like reduces rend.
That's cool.
Yeah, something like that. Or yeah, I'd have to look it up. Yeah, and then he did. Oh, he did Drowned Men, which I don't agree with, but
Oh,
you know what? I'm
that's
just
okay.
gonna be, huh?
I said that's okay.
Yeah. So Putrid Blight King, Putrid Blight King reinforced, Putrid Blight King, and I think these guys are nuts good.
Future
And then
Blakings.
yeah,
Yeah.
because like I think their normal weakness is like horde units, and then they just have like a thing that deals with horde units, and
Yep.
then they're very tough. And then
Oh,
these
I like
guys.
them a lot. They seem really cool.
Mm-hmm.
If I was gonna build Nurgle, it would definitely be Blakings.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, how come it's yeah, well, how come it's 200 yeah, 2130 here. Oh, because it's not a unit of 10 Blight Kings, it's a unit of 10 Plague Bearers. That's what it is.
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
But they're fine. They're pretty good.
Yeah.
I like this. Yeah. Um oh yeah, and a Lord of Afflictions with the can't spend command point helmet.
Oh, what's the range on that?
7 inches.
Oh, okay. Can't spend or receive?
Yep.
Is that how it goes? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I like this list a lot actually.
Seems neat.
Yeah. So, oh, nice. Thank you. um, what am I trying to say? Jesus, can't think right now. Yeah, Morbidex Twiceborn is the one who heals half the wounds he lost each battle round.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
You don't
but
chip damage him, huh?
yeah, he doesn't do much damage, or he's not a wizard or anything. He's just like a meat wall.
Yeah.
I could totally appreciate that.
Yep. That
And
seems
then,
like your style, even.
yeah, I think Orgots is just straight better.
That's okay.
We got a wah. What's going on,
Ah,
Zaratos? How you doing, buddy? We're just about to close up, but yeah, thanks for chatting, man. It's good to see people here.
yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I just want to see what blow up spell is real quick before we call it a day. It's something really cool.
Yeah.
For each phase. Oh, okay. So you pick an enemy unit within 14, and whenever they take mortal wounds at the end of that phase on a 2-up, they take an additional D3.
Oh, that's cool.
Wounds or mortal wounds. That's what I mean. Yeah.
There's like a bunch of phases that you can take then.
Yeah, and he's got a shooting attack that's like D3, 3, 2-up, -2 D3 damage.
Ooh.
Yeah,
So
so
that you put on disease points, you put on, you
yeah,
shoot him a little bit, you maybe melee him once or twice,
yeah. Oh
get a
man,
pile of extra damage.
if you had like another wizard to do spells with, that'd be cool.
That actually sounds really neat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I love the maggot lords. They're like such cool models too.
Mhm.
Like, just it makes
I
me
would need to
really
see
want
him
to
again,
build.
but
Yeah,
yeah.
but like the website does not do them justice. Like holding them in person is
Oh, they're
something
way
else.
cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, another really cool synergy with the Blight Kings too is their 4 wounds, with their leader being 5.
Okay.
But if you
Oh yeah, that's right.
there's the Glotkin whose spell is give a mortal unit +1 wound. So that means they count for 2 on the objective with that spell.
Oh my god, that's ridiculous.
Isn't that cool?
That's really neat. Yeah.
Perfect. All right, that's the list we made tonight. You know what, everyone here, thank you for joining us tonight. Hopefully next week we'll have a way to look at the battle tomes and talk about that, or at least like a Goonhammer preview page.
I think we will. Yeah.
Yeah, I think yeah. Either way, what I want to do, I think I want to do one day being one show and being another, instead of trying to
Yeah.
do both of the books.
Yeah,
What?
definitely.
Yeah. I guess we'll figure out which one we get first. I think I'd want to do the Deepkin first because I'm more excited about them.
Yeah, me too.
But or let's do them first if
Okay.
we can find them first. But yeah, yeah. Thank you everyone for showing up. We'll be here next Wednesday at 7 with a book in hand. I'll do my best to do that. All right.
See you guys.
Take care.